Kings and the Ducks may be on different ends of the spectrum when it comes to the standings, but those types of things don't matter when you get to face your sworn enemy. No one's gonna take me out. The time has come to make things right. You and I must fight for. The Ducks have owned the Kings as of late, and if the Royal Ones are going to try and salvage the season series, they'll need to sweep Anaheim during this weekend's doubleheader.
He scores!
The weekend is here, and the time is right for some knockdown, drag-out hockey. Kings, Ducks, next on FSN West.
From Staples Center, home of the Los Angeles Kings, an expected sellout crowd of over 18,000 will be on hand for the battle of these crosstown rivals, the Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. Hi, everybody. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Well, this has been a great season for one team, Anaheim. The Kings have played better lately, but it's been a tough year. But you can throw all that out the window when these two rivals get together.
You know, the last couple of days, Bob, Kings players have been downplaying the spoiler role they're probably going to play or try to play in tonight's game and tomorrow night in Anaheim. At the same time, as you mentioned, the Kings were more than solid on the last road trip. They took steps as a team to get better. Mark Crawford, the head coach, said, though, they're still learning to get to that next level. The bottom line, when you're playing a team like Anaheim, huge test for the LA Kings.
Well, Derek Armstrong of the Kings has a career-high 30 assists, and the Kings just a few days ago signed him to a 2-year contract extension.
Unselfish, I think, is the best word to use to describe Derek Armstrong. He's so unselfish in so many different ways. He takes it as a challenge every single night to try to get the puck to his line mate. He wants to be the passer. Plus 16. By far leads the Los Angeles Kings, and Mark Crawford was talking about that the other day. Underrated part of the game for Derek Armstrong, his ability to get back into his own zone, contain and cover. So he has that going, along with that ability to make things work. Well liked by his teammates. Great to see him back for 2 years.
Well, as we've said, the Kings have played better lately. Anaheim, except for their last game, has struggled a little bit. Kings assistant coach Nelson Emerson with us right now. And Nelly, what do the Kings have to do to win this game tonight?
Well, I think you guys know as well as I do the rivalry between these two hockey clubs, and I think what we're looking at is we have a young lineup, and our young players here tonight, we're hoping that they treat this as a 6-period event, and our young players, hopefully this is a weekend of emotion, and we go out there and we dictate the emotion, and we're real excited about that. And also we're hoping that our veteran players, our older players are going to lead by example here. It should be a lot of fun. Big crowd here, and we're excited.
All right, Nelly, thank you very much. Yes, there will be a big crowd on hand at Anaheim. In their last game against Phoenix, they were down 4-1, and they won in overtime. That should give them some impetus coming into this game tonight. Teemu Selanne having another great year for them, 34 goals.
Continues to be an elite level sniper. Sniper because he can get open with the skating. He's so fast. A couple years ago had the knee problem, that's gone away. He explodes into the action. Then you talk about his ability to get the shot on net. He can beat you with raw power. He can also pick the corner. So you put that all together. Also, another thing this year, if he wasn't already, he's becoming the emotional leader, and the Ducks, a very important role.
Well, the Kings won the last meeting of these two teams. That was in Anaheim. It's the Kings and the Anaheim Ducks coming up next on FSN West. FSN West presents Los Angeles Kings hockey, brought to you by Arby's. I'm thinking Arby's. By Staples. That was easy. By refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it. And by Toyota. Moving forward.
BMW has designed brakes so intelligent they talk to the rain sensor. And when told it's raining, they apply just enough friction to stay dry and in control. An idea that's arrived not a moment too soon. Lease a BMW 328i for $349 a month until February 28th.
Christine comes back with her decision. Split the commission.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. I think the printer's out of ink.
Just shake it. That is your money, man. Because I stage. Did I show it? Who showed it?
Out of ink? Get $3 off your total purchase with any empty ink cartridge from these brands. Staples, that was easy.
Now during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event, not only will you get a great deal on every new 2007 Lincoln, you'll also get an additional $1,000 bonus cash when you purchase a Lincoln Mark LT or the new Lincoln MKZ, voted best luxury car interior. Plus, lease the new redesigned Navigator with an all-new interior for just $539 a month for 36 months. Only during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event. Hurry to your Southern California Lincoln Mercury dealer. Offers end February 19th.
Seems like ever since there's been a NASCAR, there's been an Earnhardt racing in it.
Like father, like son.
Times may change. Tradition rolls on.
Active? Definitely. The gym, the track, the field. Unstoppable? That's me.
The next generation Nissan Sentra. Just awarded 5 stars for frontal crash test safety.
Life's 24/7. So's my Nissan Sentra.
Busy? That's an understatement. My week, it's like one long day. Perfect. So where do I chill out?
The next generation Nissan Sentra. Only $179 a month.
Life is 24/7. So's my Nissan Sentra.
Try 2 Arby's French dips for just $5. Freshly sliced oven-roasted beef on a toasted French roll with a side of hot, savory au jus. And 2 for just $5. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Welcome back live inside Staples Center, the big crosstown rivalry matchup. The Kings and the Ducks. In goal for the Ducks, J.S. Chiguer, Jean-Sebastien Chiguer. You see 27 wins on the season. Look at the goals against average. 3rd in the National Hockey League. 6th in wins with those 27. This is his 8th appearance in the last 9 games. Missed 12 games early in the season with a groin injury, but he is back on his game for the Kings. Matthew Garon does get to start. It's been a while, so to speak, since Garon's played. He played on the last road trip in Washington, losing in overtime against the Capitals. But of course, Matthew has been bitten by that injury bug this season. He gets to start tonight, taking over from Sean Burke. Mick Magoo, that man, and Chris Rooney on the referees. On the lines, Jay Shars and Von Rode. And right now, play-by-play, Bob Miller.
All right, Jim, thank you very much, and congratulations to Jim Fox being named the #1 TV color man, radio and TV in Los Angeles by Tom Hofarth from the Daily News. Very nice reward for you, Jim, and very well deserved. And also, congratulations to Tony Moskal, who was given honorable mention. He is the husband of our stage manager, Donna Moskal. Shot from the left side is knocked down there right in front of the net as Garon got that one, and the puck back behind the net again. Taken by Teemu Selanne. Selanne feeds it out toward the blue line. Held in, and the Ducks move it over on the left wing side to McDonald. His shot is wide. Rebound to Selanne. Here's Selanne on the right wing. The Kings are starting a winger, John Zeiler, just recalled from Manchester, and it's his first NHL game. He wears number 73. He was in the starting lineup, and he's over on right wing. Puck taken now by Chris Kunitz. Kunitz for the Ducks moves it down to the corner to Selanne. Selanne still with it. Ducks get it back to the blue line. Scott Niedermeyer slaps it into the corner, and now Chris Kunitz again. He put it down in deep. Here's Andy McDonald behind the net to Teemu Selanne. Selanne, tied for second in the league in goals, gives it to Scott Niedermeyer. His shot is blocked wide, and the Kings back behind the net can't get to it. Ducks have owned the puck here at the start of the game. Pass to the blue line, and a shot tipped in front, and Garon with a save. Selanne tipped it as it was fired by Mullen, who came off the bench.
And that chip up was so effective by the Ducks, they were able to actually make a change offside right here with the Kings finally getting the puck over the blue line, but the Kings were just scrambling in their own zone from the standpoint of containing. There is John Zeiler, 24 years old, 6 feet, 207 pounds, played his amateur hockey at St. Lawrence University. Talked to him just before the game and said he's an energy type of player. That's the role the Kings need.
Konstantin Pushkarov, who was up with the Kings, was sent down to Manchester, and Mark Crawford said because his minutes were shrinking, they were going down as a young player, Pushkarov needs to play more. So he said with Zeiler, he kind of fits more of the role. He can play that energy type of role and play 10 minutes and not worry about his development as a young player.
Hard check at center ice by Jason Ward on Todd Marchand. Puck taken now by Raitas Ivanons. Ivanons chasing it in. It's swept away by Giguère. Here's Ivanons again, and he is hit from behind by Marchand, and a penalty coming up against the Ducks.
And the Kings get in there, but I think everyone controlling themselves from the standpoint. The referee, you can see number 5 skates right in there. Chris Rooney right away had his arm up. And that's what a referee is instructed to do, because then it prevents retaliation. Coming square in the back. You saw right the last second right there, Ivanons was trying to look over his shoulder. You'll see him, watch him look over his right shoulder. He just looks this way, but it's a little bit too late. That hit is right into the numbers, and we've seen that for a couple of years now where the referees have cracked down. Ward gets in there, Kostopoulos, but both guys, because they knew that Marchand was going to pick up the penalty, they backed off. So it's a chance here for the Kings to get things going on the power play. At least that's the way it looks like. Yes, the Kings are sending out Camilleri, Kopitar, and Brown. There's Randy Carlyle, the head coach of the Anaheim Ducks, trying to get things going. And the Ducks, Bob, as you mentioned, had an outstanding shift, that first shift. I was mentioning they actually made a change of 2 players and still kept control of the puck and still kept it deep in the Kings zone.
Yeah. Marchand 2 minutes for boarding at 1:58. Kings on the power play. They are 17th in the league on the power play at 17%. And against the Ducks this year, the Kings 4 out of 24. Anaheim 5th in penalty killing at 85%. So the Kings with a chance here as the puck comes down across the line, thrown in by Brown, over to Camilleri, gets it out to Blake at the right point, back to Kopitar. Kopitar checked by Sean O'Donnell. Kopitar still with it, now batted away by O'Donnell and not cleared, held in the right point by Blake. Gives it to Kopitar. Kopitar gets upended and the Ducks move it out to center ice. The Kings on the power play have Brown, Camilleri, and Frolov all tied with 9 power play goals apiece. Kings bring it up to center. Lubomir Vishnevsky fires it hard around the boards. Here's Andrei Kopitar. Kopitar's pass picked up on the right side by Vishnevsky. Vishnevsky walks in front, shoots, it's deflected wide. Picked up again and set out toward the left point. Held in there by Blake. Gets it to Kopitar. Kopitar's pass taken away by Scott Niedermeyer. He can't clear. It's held in at the blue line for a moment by Vishnevsky, and then Ryan Getzlaf batted it out to center ice.
Vishnevsky did what he had to there. He couldn't get the puck, so he got a piece of Getzlaf just after Getzlaf had touched it. Otherwise, it's interference, but you got to make sure. A guy like Getzlaf, he has a long stride. It's a strong stride, but it's a fast stride at the same time. A big man who skates real well.
Kings bring it up to center ice, and it's fired into the zone along the left wing boards. Scott Niedermeyer back to get it. Niedermeyer plays a lot of minutes. He and Pronger on defense for this Anaheim team. Anaheim first in the Pacific Division, second in the Western Conference. And still a battle along the boards with only 25 seconds left to go in the power play, and it's cleared again.
So the Ducks keeping the puck on the outside, exactly what you want to do if you're a penalty-killing team. The Kings did have one chance earlier on Vishnevsky trying a wrap around the jam. Didn't work. Other than that, puck on the outside.
Alexander Frolov, Kings leading scorer, backhands it. It's batted out of midair into the corner. And the loose puck taken by the Ducks, Ryan Getzlaf. Here's Getzlaf out to center ice, all the way to the blue line. Tipped away, and the Ducks are back at full strength. Kings get no shots on that power play. And we're still scoreless here in the first period. Brett Sopel back behind the King net. Moves it up on the left wing. Here's Ivanons down the left side. Duck zone. Ivanons driving. Fires in front, and Kostopoulos couldn't jam it in. A save made. Nice save there by Giguère. Tom Kostopoulos driving right to the front of the net. Ivanons again. Now it's thrown down into the Anaheim zone by Jason Ward. Kostopoulos throws a check and gets the referee. Puck comes all the way down. It was Rooney, the referee, getting knocked down on that check, but he's back on his skates. And the puck taken by the Kings in their own zone.
And if there's one thing we've seen so far, Bob, it's the ability of both teams to take the body. So the big forwards, the big defensemen, everyone looking to get a piece out there.
Here's Andy McDonald trying to go down the slot. Pope checked off his stick into the corner. Rod Blake throws a check there. McDonald gets up. He's got Solani with him. He gives it to Solani. Here's Teemu Solani on the right side. He has 299 goals in a Duck uniform. chased in behind the net, and Garon went back to play it. He got knocked down there. He gets knocked down again. He tried to get in front, and he made the save.
Well, Matthew Garon, Bob, actually went out of the net himself. You can see right now he's glaring over at Mick Magoo, but I actually think Magoo made the right non-call. Garon came out of the net, and as much as the player forechecking created the contact, McDonald goes after it. You see Garon actually steps in front of McDonald, even though Garon goes down. Now, he gets back in, and he'll have to make a stop right there. He found a way to get his glove hand free, even though the shot came in maybe a foot off the ice. I think it was Chris Kunitz who took the shot. I'm sure Kunitz would have liked to get that shot a little bit higher, but we've seen some physical play. We've seen some hits on the forechecks, a whole bunch of things. And McDonald quick on the forecheck. Garon, a little bit of contact.
Titus Evenons goes over to have a seat over on the King bench. And a faceoff will be in the King zone. 14:50 to go in the first period. The King scratches Alan McCauley, Oleg Tverdovsky, and Kevin Dahlman. For the Ducks, Rick Jackman and Ryan Shannon scratched from the game tonight.
Again, in the Kings' last game, they went with 7 defensemen and 11 forwards. Tonight, it's back to the normal situation. 6 defensemen, 12 skaters up front.
Ducks have it back of their own line. Scott Niedermeyer with it. Niedermeyer tied for second among NHL defensemen in scoring. The puck flipped back behind the net, now to the blue line, held in again by Anaheim. And taken away by the Kings. Take him up to center ice, 3-on-3. Thrown down and deep by John Zeiler. Zeiler checked there. He's in his first NHL game. Played 52 games at Manchester, the American League. And the puck into the corner. Kings pinch in to get it. Now right out in front. A backhander and a save by Giguère.
Sopel pinched down the boards. I think the Ducks expected him to just put it in the corner and go back to his defensive position. Not the case. Sopel took it right to the front of the net.
Puck sent out to center ice and slapped right back in by Jamie Lundmark. Kings want to get a line change. Long pass up on the right side is back behind the King net and chased in there and picked up in the corner now by Wisniewski, and he gets it up on the left side. Here's Patrick O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan shoots it in, and it is not cut off behind the net by Giguère, but at the left point held in by Wisniewski, and he gets a shot and a save by Giguère. So now we get Pronger shoving down there with Dustin Brown. Tempers flaring early. We'll be back.
Okay, see you later.
Your world of music now on the new Red Sync. Free when you sign up for AT&T Yahoo high-speed internet. Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
With an exhilarating 258 horsepower VTEC engine, an intelligent performance-minded cockpit, double wishbone suspension, and true surround sound. All you need to do is get in. The TL from Acura.
Now you can lease an Acura TL for $369 a month for 36 months.
Lakers, it's Kobe Bryant. They can't guard him or stop him, but they'll be trying. When he's hot as he's popping, there's no denying. It's like he's flying, skying over giants. When the Lakers are balling, Kobe's taking the ball and he's overtaking them all, and he might slam the Los Angeles Lakers advantages. Kobe on FSN, nothing but net.
Watch the Trailblazers take on the Lakers Wednesday starting at 7 on FSN West.
All right, welcome back. Patrick O'Neill with Kings head coach Mark Crawford. Other than that first shift, Mark, seems like the Kings are skating downhill a little bit. Now you got a power play.
Well, we've had the type of intensity that we wanted in this game. We knew that there would be a great crowd in here tonight, and obviously the crosstown rivalry is intense, and that's great that that intensity is what we've got. We know our team has to respond to it, and we've got to respond in the right way.
All right, go, thanks.
Thank you.
Well, the Kings do have a power play with Chris Pronger going to the penalty box at the end of the last shift. Looked like it was a run-in with Dustin Brown, high sticking against Pronger.
And the Kings on their second power play of the night. No score first period. Here's Armstrong. Gets it around the right side to Wisniewski. Wisniewski puts it down in deep back behind the net. Taken away by Anaheim and not cleared. Held in by Armstrong for a moment. Then it is cleared out to center ice. And the Kings back to get it to their own blue line. Here's Patrick O'Sullivan. And the rookie throws it in deep. Karams off the boards, and the goaltender Giguère put it right back behind the net. Kings take it away, left wing side. O'Sullivan put it in deep, and it's cleared again, this time by Francois Beauchemin.
The Kings power play for the most part this season has done a good job on entry and getting at least a chance to set up, but in the first 2 power plays they've had so far, 1 and a little bit, no chance to set up at all in the offensive zone.
Niedermeyer puts it deeper in his own zone, that gets it back again and throws a high shot that is gloved by Guerin, and he dropped it off to Rob Blake. Blake moves it up on the right wing side. Andrei Kopitar across the line. He's triple teamed there. Check down in the corner. Bounces off the check, but the puck comes around to Travis Mullen. Mullen put it behind the net, taken away by Camilleri. Camilleri up the middle to Kopitar, and a save by Giguère.
Now Kopitar receives the pass from Camilleri and looked like he couldn't get the shot off right away. And it looked like Kopitar tried one of those moves where you get your body going one way and just kind of hold the puck back the other. You see him protect, good back check there. Looks like Tard Marchand comes back and makes sure the stick of Kopitar is not an issue. If you can't get body position, make sure you lock up the stick. And that's exactly what Marchand did.
Face off in the Anaheim zone, and it comes to the Kings back behind the net, out to the left point. Wisnowski holds it in with 37 seconds to go in the power play. No score here in the first period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. Camilleri gets it down in deep, now up the middle of Blake. Blake shovels it back on the right side. Kopitar to Camilleri. Camilleri shoots, and a save by Giguère. And some traffic in front again, and the whistle stops play.
That's the 3rd time in this period already, Bob, where the Kings tried that exact same thing. Kind of just a crash from the side of the net. Nothing happened in front of J.S. Giguère. February, March features some great games at Staples Center. Great opponents, Vancouver, Colorado, Anaheim. Get your tickets now at lakings.com.
Kings have 2 shots on this power play. 24 seconds remain in it. And the Ducks get the draw, and it is cleared into the King zone, and Karams right toward Guerin.
That's the textbook face-up on a penalty kill. You win the draw, then the other forward slides behind the goal line to make sure he's there as an outlet pass.
Camilleri throws it in wide of the net, and it is cleared and deflected up out of play into the crowd.
Well, Mark Crawford, we just heard from him along with Patrick O'Neill, and Mark told me yesterday at practice, you want to keep up the repetitions and work on things. The one thing to focus right now with the Kings, and again, they had a solid road trip, is what's happening, your play and positioning without the puck. And coaches can really stress that. It's a lot easier to teach defense than it is to do that with offense, because offense is a lot about creativity. Well, the Kings lately working, making sure their system is in place from the standpoint of knowing exactly what you do when you don't have the puck.
Last December 2nd, when these 2 teams met, Anaheim had a record of 20 wins, only 2 losses in regulation. And since then, since January 1, 6-9-2. And before that comeback win over Phoenix a couple of nights ago, they had been shut out in 2 straight and 3 of the last 6.
You know that's not going to last. They just have so much as far as weaponry up front. There's the guy that we talked about in the open, Solane. Tonight's broadcast is on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to U.S. Armed Forces serving in 176 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. So welcome and thanks for all you're doing.
Yes, sir. And on the last road trip, in case you guys don't know, we had a chance to take a visit to the Pentagon and just see how they keep track of where all of you are and what's going on in all of those countries. Faceoff is going to be just inside the King blue line. We have no score in the first period. 11:22 left to go in this period.
And the Ducks trying to drop this down. They need another guy on the ice. I know they've had a good season, but when you're not shorthanded, you want to put 5 guys out there.
Pronger flips it to the blue line, and it's deflected down into the King zone. Here on the right side, taken there by Rob Niedermeyer. This pass up the middle, saved by Guerin on that shot, and Sammy Paulson then, boy, right after the whistle. Now, this is like years ago in hockey. Every time the whistle blows, we get a scrap.
It's not bad to see it against these 2 teams. Again, the Ducks have more to play for as far as playoff positioning. The Kings don't have much. It was Miller, Aaron Miller, along with Sammy Paulson. Now everyone else getting involved. You see Travis Mullen trying to get in there. The defenseman O'Donnell, Pronger for the Kings. Frolof's down low. Armstrong, Camilleri. So the Ducks did get the shot they wanted. It came from the slot, but it was covered well by the Kings. And now the dancing and wrestling continues. Sometimes the only way a referee can end this is just by giving unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, 10-minute misconducts, those types of things. But again, the shot did get through from Paulson. He was deep in the slot, but the Kings saw it all the way. Miller came out with Paulson. Then there was a push and a shove. Miller didn't like it, then Paulson comes through. So both guys, Armstrong, everyone gets involved. I assume what we're going to see here is coincidental penalties against each team. Aaron Miller of the Kings is going over the box right now. I assume he's going to be joined by Paulson, although maybe not Paulson. Moen is already in there. So it has been a spirited start. It has been an aggressive start. And Aaron Miller just did his job in front, making sure he came over to the overload shooter. And that was Sammy Paulson. Now Moen talking things over, shouting things over along with Aaron Miller. So it's kind of fun to see this. And again, you know, the playoffs, the positioning for the Ducks so important. The Kings as a team just trying to get to the next level, trying to learn to win games like these and play an opponent like the Ducks and show up and do well. So different approaches, different motivations, but I think you can see the proximity coming in right here. Crosstown rivals. You want to pick up those 2 points?
It's like a game against the old Philadelphia Flyers. And they're going to sort things out right now. As you see the referees, Aaron Miller looks like he's going to go off the ice.
Number 32, Travis Moen, 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct.
So Moen gets 2 roughing.
2 minutes for roughing.
And a 10-minute misconduct. Prom only gets 2 minutes for roughing. Miller gets the 2 and 10. So again, as a referee, that's the only thing you can do sometimes. Derek Armstrong also picks up a roughing call, so it's going to end up being even Steven. But I think the referees, sometimes you can only take so much as far as the face washes and the shouting back and forth. So you've got to hand out those misconducts, and that's what the referees did on the last shift.
You mentioned the battle in the playoffs in the Western Conference. Nashville started the night 81 points. They were number 1 in the West, and Anaheim number 2 at 76. Anaheim, of course, leading the Pacific Division, and they're trying to stay ahead in that division. 76 points. San Jose started the day with 73, and Dallas with 70.
And Bob, you mentioned the Philadelphia Flyers. Of course, they've come into the mix as far as the Western Conference because they traded Peter Forsberg the other day to Nashville. We'll get into that a little bit more later and go over the particulars, but it's an interesting situation because many times the dominoes start to fall, and there's a lot of preemptive strikes. When a team like Nashville picks up a player, the Ducks were probably involved, the Sharks were probably, everyone's circling around to figure out if they can get the guy. And sometimes the reasoning to get the guy is to keep him away from one of your division or conference rivals. So very interesting the next little while with the trade deadline coming up February 27th. Whether the Ducks will be involved, and of course Dean Lombardi of the Kings has mentioned the Kings are sellers. It's not a position you want to be in, but you're looking to get younger.
Well, after all of that on the ice, we're still at full strength, and Camilleri comes to the blue line of Anaheim, taken away and pushed ahead to Solani. Solani, right side, can't get a shot off, still has it all the way to the blue line. Weaver got picked, and a penalty coming up here against Anaheim.
That's going to be the call, Bob. It's going to be interference against the Ducks. Niedermeyer skated over and thought that Solani was going to get a little bit of a lane as he circled out towards the neutral zone. And there was just too much contact. Even when players run into each other in this situation, usually the penalty goes against the team that has the puck. And you'll see Solani come back out. And on the right side of your screen, you get a stop right there, guys. There it is. There is Niedermeyer just getting into position. He went out of his way, and the contact is made. It's kind of a moving pick. If you're dead stop, then you can get away with that. You have to establish your position first. But you can see there, Niedermeyer was still moving. Interference against the Ducks.
Well, the Kings are certainly getting their chances here early in the game. In spite of everything that's gone on, Kings are going to have their 3rd power play right now. They're 0 for 2 so far with only 2 shots. Here's Camilleri. Gets it over to Frolov. Frolov puts it back behind the net. Kopitar didn't get it. Camilleri did. Camilleri in the corner. He's checked there, and the puck is cleared the length of the ice by Beauchemin. Kings back to get it. We're in the first period. No score in the game. Kopitar checked hard by Beauchemin as he stepped across the line, and the Ducks have it again, and it is clear.
Well, the Kings out of sync on the power play so far to start this game. You give credit to the Ducks from the standpoint of working together as a 4-man unit. The big forwards, big defensemen, really giving the Kings no time. The Kings have not had a chance to set it up in the offensive zone.
A bouncer by Wisnowski, covered after the save by Giguère.
Well, Giguère back on track. I mentioned just before the game started, his 8th appearance in the last 9 games. He did miss 12 games with a groin injury. from December 29th to January 19th, 27 wins. You can see that. Outstanding season all the way around. It has slid off a little bit for the Ducks of late, but again, when you look through their lineup, you have to understand sooner or later a team goes through the down parts, but they will get back on track.
Wisnowski moves it off on the right side. Kings lose it there. O'Sullivan tried to pass, and it was taken away by Sean O'Donnell. He cleared it back behind the net. 55 seconds left to go in this Kings power play. Here is Lubomir Wisnowski, 8th among defensemen in the league in scoring. Puck is rolled in. Jaguar himself clears it. And Guerin out to let it go as the Kings take it back behind the net. And here is Wisnowski. Gets it up ahead to center ice. Pass on the left side. Broken up again. And cleared back to the King line. Wisnowski moves it over to Sopel. Sopel slaps it in. 28 seconds left to go in the power play. Puck comes down in deep. Joe DePenta back behind the net. It rolled up on the side of the net. And Jaguar covers it there. And now we get another shove by Ryan Getzlaf. Getzlaf and Patrick O'Sullivan. No score here in the first period. FSN West presents Kings Hockey, brought to you by Budweiser. Born in America, enjoyed around the world. This is Budweiser, this is beer. By American Express, my life, my card. And by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it.
You know, the Ducks are the most penalized team in the NHL. They make no bones about it. They like to use their size, their strength. They have a lot of that back on the blue line and up front.
Sopel with a shot deflected and a save by Jaguar. Puck bounces high in the air and it is cleared by Beauchemin. 8 seconds left to go in this power play for the Kings. They have 2 shots on this one. And here is Jamie Lundmark. Lundmark up to center ice, gives it a Frolov. Frolov tipped it in deep. Power play is over. Kings now 0 for 3 on the power play with 4 shots. And the puck thrown down into the right wing corner. Both teams going to change on the fly here with 8:30 left to go in the first period. These same 2 teams will meet again tomorrow night in Anaheim at 5 o'clock. That'll be on FSN Prime Ticket as well as the Kings Radio Network, 11:50. Here is Evenons. Evenons throws it down in deep. I should say tomorrow night's game on KDOC. Channel 56. Puck fired down the right wing side and chased down into the corner. Hard check throw in there, and the puck comes out toward the right wing boards. Here's Ryan Getzlaf. His shot and a save by Jaguar, and again we get Corey Perry.
Now Thornton, Bob, and Evenons look like they're going to try to square off. I see a couple of gloves on the ice. You're exactly right, though, Bob. It was Corey Perry at the side of the net along with Jason Ward. They were the first 2 combatants, but like has happened many times so far in this game, it's not the first thing, it's what happens after that.
The Nissan National Sales Race is on. We're in a race to sell 100,000 Nissans in one single event. That means record-breaking deals on high-performing Nissans. Lease the Nissan Pathfinder or Murano. Your choice, $299 per month. 100,000 Nissans in one event. So, ladies and gentlemen, get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
A new era of poker has arrived.
This dome behind us is the most state-of-the-art poker table.
MansionPoker.net presents the Poker Dome Challenge.
It's do or die, basically, on this hand.
Every week, the tension mounts.
His heart rate could have gone any higher.
Until the final table comes together and a champion emerges. The series continues Sunday on FSN.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hansen for the series from Warren Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, experience the rugged beauty of Telluride, Colorado, as we glide through the air and climb the treacherous Rockies. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
Well, Dustin Brown leads the LA Kings in hits, and I had a chance yesterday at practice to talk to him about the scouting report on the big 2 for the opposition, Scott Niedermayer. He said you can't hit him. It's almost impossible. You try, you get in there, but he just slides out of the way. Such a great skater. With Chris Pronger, he says it's a different thing. He said with Pronger, you can hit, but at the same time, you rarely make an impact. He's just so strong, and there's many times where Chris Pronger does like to encourage contact to get himself in the game. Dustin Brown will not back off. He'll keep trying, he'll keep throwing the weight around. At the same time, a different approach, whether you go after Niedermeyer or Pronger.
Anaheim gets a power play. Evenons gets the penalty, but O'Sullivan will serve it. Here is McDonald. Feeds it up the middle and off the stick there, and Pronger out to center ice.
Evenons gets 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. So again, the referee's using that. They're going to use the 10-minute misconduct, but things happen after the whistle.
Solani shoots it wide to the right side. He's got 18 power play goals, first in the NHL. He drove down the right side. Here's McDonald. Puts it back to Kunitz. Back over to Andy McDonald on the right side. McDonald hangs on there. He's got 16 goals on the year. Feeds it down into Kunitz. Kunitz gives it over to Solani. Solani to Scott Niedermeyer. He's dumped right in the slot. Kings get control but can't clear. It went off the stick of Kostopoulos. Picked up now by Andy McDonald. He shoots, and a save by Guerin. Puck comes in the corner again. Now McDonald. Back over to Chris Kunitz. Kunitz on the right side. He's been cold lately. Gets it over now to McDonald. Up the middle it goes to Pronger. Back to McDonald. He passed in front, broken up, and cleared this time by Kostopoulos.
With the Kings, Bob, when the Kings have the power play, many times Rob Blake goes down low as a screen. With the Ducks, Scott Niedermeyer will go down low as a defenseman, but he stays more in the middle of the slot as an attacker right there, so he can get deflections or shots, depending if he's open or not.
Here's Weaver back behind the King net. Now it bounced off the stick of Kopitar, held in by the Ducks. Pronger gets it on the right side to Ryan Getzlaff. Getzlaff got a shot, but it was deflected, then flipped high in the air, knocked down there, and Kopitar clears for the King.
Kopitar taking no chances, uses the hand first to kind of just put the puck to the outside, get it near the boards, then use the legs to skate down the loose puck.
So far, and with 6:14 to go in the first period, both teams have combined for 46 minutes in penalties. So we've got a penalty-filled first period. No score so far. Ducks still on the power play for 8 more seconds. Back behind the net. Check thrown there, but a backhander is wide to the right side by Penner. Picked up at the right point and fired wide and behind the net. Here is Corey Perry. Kings are back at full strength. Perry lost it there to Sopel. Sopel turns and fires it around the board, but Dustin Penner tipped it out to the left point. Ducks have it again. Back behind the net. Corey Perry on the right side. His pass taken away by Weaver. Weaver gets it to O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan up to center ice with Kopitar. O'Sullivan drives it down in deep. 5.5 left to go here in the first period. And a collision along the boards. O'Sullivan and Getzlaff met. O'Sullivan up and goes right over the bench, but under his own power. Puck picked up now by Wisnowski. Anaheim zone. Taken now by Armstrong, and his pass taken away and brought back out to center ice now by the Ducks. Chase down the left side. Travis Moen.
Yeah, Bob, I think we got kind of mixed up with information there. I think it was Sammy Paulson that received the 10-minute misconduct. We announced earlier that it was Moen picking up a minor for roughing in the 10-minute misconduct. It was Paulson that's no longer do that. Otherwise, Moen should not be on the ice right now.
Yeah, I kept looking to see, is that 32 out there? Here across the line is Armstrong to Camilleri. Backhander saved by Giguère.
Giguère very calm right there, letting the attack come to him. He stayed deep in his net. The shot, pretty good backhand by Camilleri, handled easily by the blocker.
Todd Marchand steps out of the way of a check by Weaver, and then Kunitz throws a hard check at Armstrong. Kings get it up to center ice. Armstrong going to go off the ice. Puck taken away by the Ducks at their own blue line. Scott Niedermeyer. Checked at center ice by Zeiler. The newest King. Here's Solani to McDonald. Shoots, and a nice save by Guerin. Guerin's made some nice saves in this first period. And back to center ice. Here is Dustin Brown, but offside called against the Kings. No score. 4:03 to go in the first period.
The number 23. A heart-wrenching odyssey into paranoia.
So what is 23?
There are 23 axioms to Euclid's geometry. 2 divided by 3? 666. Number of the devil.
My birthday, 2-3. Driver's license, social security number. It's all 23.
I dreamt. I killed you.
You could never hurt anyone.
How do you know?
Rated R. Starts February 23rd.
People say when I grow up, I should be like my dad. My dad's food makes people happy.
like his new sirloin steak and mushroom ciabatta with marinated sirloin steak, seasoned mushrooms, real provolone, and grilled onions on his famous ciabatta bread.
But I don't want to make steak sandwiches. I want to be a vegetarian. Vegetarians are the best.
What I like most about vegetarians is, when my dog hurt his paw, we took him to the vegetarian and he got all better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
President's Day only comes once a year, and to celebrate, GMC has a commanding offer. 0% financing on almost every 07. Like 0% for 60 months on the Sierra Classic. Hurry, 5 days only, then this term ends. More GMC trucks are sold in LA than anywhere in the nation.
Well, two young Kings, line mates and roommates. Both Andre Kopitar and Patrick O'Sullivan share a spot in Hermosa Beach. O'Sullivan does all the work, does all the cleaning, does all the cooking. That's why he gets the master bedroom. But there's one thing for sure, the rent is never late. Because the landlord, the owner, that man right there, George Peros, he plays for the Ducks. He can drop the gloves. George, of course, started the season with the LA Kings in training camp, was traded to Colorado, then back and forth. He had the spot in Hermosa, rented it to two young guys, and now they have him as the landlord.
Oh, you better get that rent checked.
Exactly. Mr. Roper.
But taking on a little tougher than Mr. Roper.
So, yeah.
Here's Camilleri, but he can't get the pass right at the top of the slot. 3:41 left to go in the first period. Patrick O'Neill will talk with one of the Kings at the end of the period. Kings keep it in, now over to Armstrong. Armstrong left side, checked down there by Scott Niedermeyer. Armstrong and Niedermeyer battle along the boards. Kings full up, tried to dig it out, but Solani took it away and he gives it to McDonald. McDonald across the line, stops, tried to give it over to Solani and it was broken up, and still a battle for the puck, and the Kings Camilleri gets it to center ice and sent the rest of the way by Armstrong.
The back check of Camilleri was so important on that play because McDonald's speed backed everyone off, and that gave a little bit more time and room for the Ducks inside the line, but Camilleri closed that gap from behind.
Jamie Lundmark and a shot from the left side by Brian Wilsey and a save, and now we get Kostopoulos going to get into a scrap. Kostopoulos into a scrap with Shane O'Brien. And it is
it's a weird one. Neither guy able to get the balance back and forth, and finally O'Brien goes down on top of Kostopoulos. It was kind of a balance issue. Both guys kept spinning and spinning and spinning. They had a hold of each other with one arm. Not sure if any punches connected, although O'Brien may have got one in before Kostopoulos ended up falling down. So it just keeps going the same way here in period number one. Both guys go right to the dressing room, 3-1 run remaining, and we've had the hits and the fisticuffs. The Kings Purple and Gold Pack presented by DirecTV gets you 2 seats to 3 games, an entry into a Kings road trip drawing, and a commemorative puck signed by Kings alumni from the Purple and Gold era, all for just $79. For more information, please visit lakings.com.
3:01 left to go here in the first period. Old-time hockey here tonight.
Yeah.
Puck is along the left wing boards in the Anaheim zone, and Wilsey with a shot and a save in the glove of Jaguar. Dropped it back behind the net for Pronger. And now moved up on the right side and tipped down deep in the King zone by Marchand. Swept away by Guerin over to Zeiler. Zeiler gets checked there. John Zeiler, a new name. He just came in today from Manchester in his first NHL game for the Kings. Puck taken back behind the net by Matty Nordstrom. Seiler in 52 games had 27 points, 11 goals, and 16 assists in the AHL.
And again, he admitted he's more of an energy player. He's out there to just take the body, take the puck to the net when possible. Not necessarily going to get a lot of points, but he's going to make you pay when he has a chance.
Kopitar took it away, shoots, and a save and a rebound, down, and a save by Jaguar.
You have to give Jaguar a little bit of credit here because I don't know if he saw the initial shot. That's where the traffic was, then the rebound, but then he readjusted. It got himself back into a position where he was able to be square with a shooter. You see Kopitar along the boards. There's that strength. Looked like not much is happening. There's the screenshot. Rebound. Look at him. He slid across.
Yep.
Jaguar knew that the puck was somewhere over to his left. He may not have saw it, but he knew where it was going to be. And when he got there, again, down on the knees, but square to the shooter to make the next save.
Well, both goaltenders have come up with some good saves in this game. 2:08 left to go in the first period. Kopitar wins the draw. Here's Brown with a shot, spinning and shot it wide to the right side, and Travis Moen cleared it to the blue line, and it's deflected into the Anaheim bench.
We saw Anze Kopitar there on the last shift trying to get things going. 50 points on the season. Toyota leaderboard shows us most points by a rookie in Kings history. Luc Robitaille won the Calder Trophy back in 86-87. You see down at the bottom, Kopitar will probably keep climbing and climbing on that list. Be interesting to see how high he gets by the end of the season.
Those last penalties, O'Brien of Anaheim and Kostopoulos of the Kings, 5 minutes each for fighting at 16:59. Shots on goal, the Kings 12 and the Ducks 7. And a face-off in the neutral zone now as Kopitar steps in for the Kings.
Assistant coach Dave Parrish on the bench right there along with the Ducks. It looked like Andy McDonald trying to describe what's going on. So there's Dave right there. He goes way back with Randy Carlisle, way back to junior days. Both guys played for the Sudbury Wolves in the Ontario Hockey League, and a long history between those guys.
Rob Niedermeyer down in deep. He gets checked, but he bounces off the check, still has it, throws it in front. A backhander save, and sprawling on his back to cover the puck is Guerin.
From this angle, it looked like Travis Moen almost kept the puck out of the net. And I know that's not what he was trying to do. He probably didn't have the angle because the puck did slide all the way behind the goaltender, Matthew Guerin. And then I believe it was Moen that redirected back underneath the fallen goaltender. There's Moen on the right side.
Whoa.
Looks like the stick right there. Brent Sopel makes sure that Moen can't make the move he wants. Moen probably wants to take one stick handle here to get the puck to a position where he can tap it home, but because of the stick of Sopel, could not do so. Unfortunate for the Kings, the puck slides right under the goaltender.
Matthew Guerin in his 22nd game of the year. And it is still 0-0, but the Ducks came inches away from putting that one in. Minute 45 left to go here in this first period, and Solani wins the draw. Now here's Andy McDonald up the middle. Solani with a one-timer, but he shot it wide. Checked by Frolov. Frolov takes it away and headmans it up to center ice to Armstrong. And a penalty coming up against Anaheim. A delayed call and was played by the goaltender, and the penalty is hooking.
It's against Solani. Solani, Bob, took the draw, as you mentioned, on that last shift. So when the puck's on the right side, that's his stronger side. He takes the face-off, won it, and got a return pass from Andy McDonald. But when the puck changed hands and the Kings went the other way, hooking the call against Solani, absolutely no argument whatsoever from Solani. And right now, Solani's going to go to the dressing room. There's under 2 minutes remaining here in the period, so it looks like Solani's going to just say, I'm going to go across. And again, of course, the only way he could be substituted for is if the Kings ended up scoring a goal. And Solani electing to go, I think, to the dressing room, or at least that's what he's trying to do. Perhaps the Ducks would have to put someone in the penalty box, and that's the reason Solani's coming back.
Yeah.
And will go in. So you need someone physically in the box. And Tamu thought he was going to go and have a little bit of rest, maybe in the locker room. Not the case. Has a seat in the penalty box.
We'll get some rest down there for the next minute and a half, maybe. See if the Kings can score on this. Kings' fourth power play of the period. And we're scoreless. Here's Blake to Wisnowski. Wisnowski in front, and Camilleri tried to get a position to tip it in, couldn't do it. And the puck driven out to center ice by Marchand, and it was blocked by Wisnowski. Kings back in their own zone. Anze Kopitar back to get it. Kopitar, second among rookies in the league in power play assists and power play points. Kopitar makes a move between two defensemen, gives it out to Wisnowski with a drive, and it was blocked by Moen. Then he tried to clear, and Brown knocked it down for the Kings. Now here's Camilleri, out to Wisnowski. Right side it goes to Blake. Blake shoots, and a save. Deflected, and a save with 45 seconds left to go in this period. No score in the game. Wisnowski trying to get to it along the boards, and it was just held there for a moment by Moen. Now taken and not cleared. Here's Blake. Blake on the right side, put it down the corner, up the middle. Wisnowski shoots, and he hit the post. Shoots again, and it's deflected wide. Wisnowski hit the post, flush with a shot, with about 25 seconds to go in the period.
By far the best chances for the Kings in this period. It all started with Kopitar on the entry, getting the puck in the zone.
Here's Kopitar again to Sopel. He shoots, he scores! Tipped in front by Frolov, and the Kings lead 1-0.
By far the best chances and by far the most effective power play the Kings have had, because until this point, the Ducks really kept the puck on the outside on all their penalty kills. But again, it started maybe 40 seconds, even more on the clock ago, when Kopitar just had all kinds of speed, got in the zone. You'll see the shot by Sopel redirected out of the air. Frolov actually spins his body out of the way so he can get his stick on it. You can see Jaguar has to come across because of the screen of the body. Can't really see the puck. Then the change in direction. Power play goal. Kings lead 1-0.
Kings finally take advantage of that power play. It came with 8 seconds left to go, and now that's the end of the first period. And the Kings fans on their feet at Staples Center as Frolov gets the goal. Frolov with his 31st of the year. And the Kings have a 1-0 lead at the end of one in a penalty-filled first period. Patrick O'Neill with the Kings coming up after this.
Okay, guys, I told you. Just because I got Bud on the car doesn't mean I got Bud in the car.
Oh, terribly sorry, Alpha.
Would you mind signing my chainsaw?
2.
Kevin.
It was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen.
You want to see it again the second it's over. The Prestige. Only on DVD and Blu-ray disc Tuesday, February 20th.
It started with a simple idea. Build an automobile that takes the sheer joy of driving to a whole new level. Use advanced technologies without sacrificing fuel economy. Take advantage of a racing-inspired heritage. Provide an interior space that fulfills every need. The TSX from Acura.
Now you can lease an Acura TSX for $299 a month for 36 months.
You're watching FSN West.
On the next Destination Wild, presented by Jeep, join host Courtney Hansen as we head to Telluride for a thrill ride high above the rugged Rockies. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
Next week on the best damn sports show, period. Miami Heat fire starter Dwayne Wade on Pat Riley's rejoining the team, and whether Shaq needs to be 100% for the Heat to repeat. Michael Strahan on the giant task of winning in New York next year. Is the loss of Tiki too much to overcome? And Mad Money host Jim Cramer talks Philly football. Does this money mogul think Donovan McNabb should cash out his chips with the Eagles? Next week at 11.
Lakers, it's Kobe Bryant. They can't guard him or stop him, but they'll be trying. When he's hot as he's popping, there's no denying. It's like he's flying, skying over giants. When the Lakers are balling, Kobe's taking the ball and he's overtaking them all, and he might slam the Los Angeles Lakers advantages. Kobe on FSN, nothing but net.
Watch the Trailblazers take on the Lakers Wednesday starting at 7 on FSN West.
You're watching FSN West.
All right, joining me now is Alexander Frolov, who got the goal for the Kings late in that first period, his 31st on the year. Talk about a timely goal against a team you don't like very much.
Yeah, it's Anaheim is a really good team, you know, and it's a kind of playoff type of hockey right now. Really good first period for both teams, you know. A lot of good players. I mean, it's a really good power play goal right in the end. Sobs did a great shot right to my stick. I mean.
Yeah, so talk about the goal. Sopel throws it on net, and you just got a good look at it to beat Jaguar.
Yeah, you know what? When it's on power play, you have to be in front, and somebody in front, and I just went right to in front, and he made a good shot. So. The good things happen for us.
Hey, for old-time hockey out there, I just mentioned these two teams don't like each other. What do you expect the rest of the way?
Same type of hockey, you know, really intense, a lot of physical plays, and I hope we win.
All right, well, good luck. Thanks for the time.
Okay, thank you.
Alexander Frolov, 31 goals on the year. We're coming back with highlights right after this. 1-0 Kings over the Ducks.
In honor of President's Day, your Honda dealer is making some very impressive offers on your favorite Honda car or truck. From the innovative Ridgeline and 8-passenger Pilot to the stylish Accord and ever-popular Civic. In fact, you could even say that no price is carved in stone. But we wouldn't because it doesn't sound, very presidential. The President's Day celebration. Lease a Honda Accord for $199 a month for well-qualified customers.
Try 2 Arby's French dips for just $5. Freshly sliced oven-roasted beef on a toasted French roll with a side of hot, savory au jus. And 2 for just $5. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Now during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event, not only will you get a great deal on every new 2007 Lincoln, you'll also get an additional $1,000 bonus cash when you purchase a Lincoln Mark LT or the new Lincoln MKZ, voted best luxury car interior. Plus, lease the new redesigned Navigator with an all-new interior for just $539 a month for 36 months. Only during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event. Hurry to your Southern California Lincoln Mercury dealer. Offers end February 19th.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Me too. All right, here's what I want to talk about today. Working in an office. I don't think we've talked about that on the show yet. Anybody remember? I didn't think so. Okay, so here's what made me think about it. What if you're a neat freak and then you're forced to share an office with someone who's a pig? You know what I mean, Francis. Come on. It's just a term. My life is far from ordinary. That's why my card is American Express.
Truck guys will tell you, taking off from a dead stop with 10,000 pounds ain't no picnic. So this half-ton's got the most torque. 6-speed tranny with tow haul mode. And 4 oversized disc brakes. Because stopping 10,000 pounds ain't no picnic either. Available on the all-new full-size Tundra. The truck that's changing it all.
Closed captioning is brought to you in part by...
Stay at any Best Western and earn double points or double miles with our free loyalty program, Gold Crown Club International. AAA members earn triple rewards now through April 13th. Join today at bestwestern.com.
Welcome back to Staples Center, everybody. In downtown Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Kings with a 1-0 lead over the Anaheim Ducks. The Kings have lost 5 in a row here at Staples, including 4 in a row to the Ducks. The Kings certainly want to snap that skid. For the Ducks, though, a lot more to play for. They're chasing Nashville for the best overall record in the Western Conference. Nashville just made a big trade with Philadelphia to acquire Peter Forsberg. We'll talk about that after the second period of play in the second intermission. Right now, let's take a look, though, of the highlights of the first period. This was a scoreless affair for most of the first period. The Ducks with a good opportunity to get on the board first, but as you take a look, Matthew Garon just got a skate on it. It goes across the crease, no harm done, but there was some harm done here. See Andrei Kopitar on the power play, gets it over to Brent Sobel. Alexander Frolov in front. Talk about nifty work with the stick. He gets it past Jaguar's 31st goal on the year. That made it 1-0 with just 8 seconds left in that first period. That's where we stand through 20 minutes of play. 1-0 Kings. Jim Fox is coming back with the telestrator and much more right after this. Keep it here.
Designed to captivate. Designed to illuminate. The luxury sedan designed to outperform. The M from Infiniti.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her,
burger,
she kissed me.
fries,
No one said
and a 24-year-old bottle of French Bordeaux. The Carl's Jr. $6,000 combo meal, exclusively at the Palms.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
President's Day only comes once a year, and to celebrate, GMC has a commanding offer. 0% financing on almost every 07. Like 0% for 60 months on the Sierra Classic. Hurry, 5 days only, then this term ends. More GMC trucks are sold in LA than anywhere in the nation.
Next week on the best damn sports show, period. Miami Heat fire starter Dwayne Wade on Pat Riley's rejoining the team, and whether Shaq needs to be 100% for the Heat to repeat. Michael Strahan on the giant task of winning in New York next year. Is the loss of Tiki too much to overcome? And Mad Money host Jim Cramer talks Philly football. Does this money mogul think Donovan McNabb should cash out his chips with the Eagles? Next week at 11.
A new era of poker has arrived.
This dome behind us is the most state-of-the-art poker table.
MansionPoker.net presents the Poker Dome Challenge.
It's do or die, basically, on this hand.
Every week, the tension mounts.
His heart rate could have gone any higher.
Until the final table comes together and a champion emerges. The series continues Sunday on FSN.
You're watching FSN West.
We are back live at Staples Center, 1 period down. It was a power play goal at the end of the period by Alexander Foloff. Kings lead 1-0. Take a look at the numbers after 20 minutes of play right now. The stats brought to you by Carl's Jr. The Kings end up out-shooting the Ducks 14-8. Go back to that first shift. The Ducks all over the Kings. Scoring chances in favor of the Kings. The Kings are 1 for 4 on the power play. So I'm sure from the Ducks' perspective, they're saying stay out of the penalty box if they're going to be effective the rest of the way. Want to take a look at a power play for the Ducks. Scott Niedermayer, he's a defenseman, but he kind of plays a weird position that he goes to the slot. Again, Rob Blake of the Kings ends up going down to the front of the net. Niedermayer plays a different thing. Got to stop here, guys. In many situations, after the Ducks regained control of the puck, Niedermayer would go back out here to join his buddy Pronger on the blue line. Not the case. The puck is picked up by the Ducks, and guess what happens? They get control, and where do we find Niedermayer? Right there in front of the net. Now he's in position for long deflections, rebound shots, whatever can happen, but just a different look from the Ducks on the power play. A back check in the period by Michael Camilleri, so important. You'll see the Ducks go on attack, and because of the speed of Andy McDonald, you'll see the Ducks back everything up. Solani gets the puck. You get a stop right here, and McDonald's going to enter. That backs everyone off. But the man that's going to make the play is Camilleri. He's going to keep going. You can see Frolof's involved. Look over the shoulder, and Camilleri right there takes the body, makes sure, shields the puck, and McDonald cannot get a re-attack going. So real good job, not only to get there, but once he did get there, you saw the body position of Michael Camilleri to make sure the Ducks could not have the chance on goal. 1-0 Kings after 1 period of play. We come back to Staples Center. We'll have second period right after these words.
With seating for 5, a lockable in-bed trunk, an 1,100-pound payload, plenty of extra under-seat storage, and a 5,000-pound towing capacity, you don't have to decide what you're going to do on vacation until you're on vacation. The incredibly innovative Ridgeline from Honda. Now get APR financing as low as 0.9% on select Honda trucks for well-qualified buyers.
Now look at that, bro. It was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen.
You want to see it again the second it's over. The Prestige. Only on DVD and Blu-ray disc Tuesday, February 20th.
Every 15 seconds, someone in America buys a new Chevy. Maybe it's because Chevy offers more models to choose from than Nissan, Honda, or Toyota. Plus, every 07 car, pickup, and Chevy SUV is backed by the best coverage in America. Better than Honda, better than Toyota. And this President's Day, see your Southern California Chevy dealer for 0% financing on almost every 2007 Chevy. More models to choose from and great President's Day deals. Hurry, sale ends February 20th.
That was an awesome show.
Awesome.
Hey, would you mind?
No problem.
Me too. So, are you the bass player or the drummer?
I'm not in the band. I'm just here for the Bud Light. Whose pen?
Johnny! Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Who's Todd Schischler?
Toyota is big on MPG.
The gas mileage from this vehicle is unbelievable.
I average about 35 miles per gallon.
I'm getting 30 miles per gallon. It's awesome. Definitely with gas prices as high as they are right now, it's great.
I fill it about once every other week.
When I filled it up the other day, I filled it for less than $30. In my other vehicle, it was over $50.
Me being a student, it's a lot easier on my wallet.
It puts a big smile on my face every time I pull into a gas station.
See your Southern California Toyota dealer.
The Pac-10 basketball tournament returns in March. All 10 teams get caught in the madness. The Pacific Life Men's Tourney returns to Staples. And the State Farm Women's Tourney tips off at HP Pavilion in San Jose. Witness the March to the Madness live. For more information, log on to pac10.org or call Ticketmaster.
Severe ceiling hair, another tragic side effect of auto claustrophobia, and a good reason to give the new Nissan Versa sedan a try.
A new extended relief formula with best-in-class headroom and best-in-class interior space.
That works for me.
Plus, the same long-lasting gas pump relief as Versa hatchback.
The Nissan Versa sedan. It'll put an end to auto claustrophobia once and for all. Ask your Nissan dealer if Versa is right for you.
I love bubbles. FSN West presents Kings Hockey, brought to you by Singular Wireless, Raising the Bar. By Carl's Jr. For big, juicy, char-broiled burgers, the name of the game is Carl's Jr. And by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection. And we are back live here at the home of the Kings, Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. The Kings score late in that first period for a 1-0 lead over the Anaheim Ducks, and a spirited first period to say the least. 58 penalty minutes by both teams in that period.
Alexander Frolov said it, and I think we were feeling it. It was a playoff atmosphere down on the ice from the standpoint of who's going to back off first, who's going to blink first. I don't think either team did. Both teams were right there. The whistle blows. It doesn't matter. You're making sure you're not taking a back step. So from the Kings' perspective, I think you have to look at it. You know, the playoffs, not in the picture. You have to make sure you control what you can, and you can control your intensity, and the Kings did so in the first period.
Anze Kopitar with a goal, his 10th in the last 13 games for him.
Well, it's just one of those things where he just keeps going. Got the position in front of the net, and it was very interesting because the movement by Frolov was, he was both a screen, and then he ended up being a deflector. Because he had the body position initially facing the shooter, Brent Sopel, Chiguer could not see the puck, and Frolov actually made a neat little move there where he spun his body to get his stick on it, but that creates two difficult situations for a goaltender. You have a screen and a deflection, both by the same player.
And my mistake, I said Kopitar, I meant to say Frolov. Frolov with a power play goal, Sopel and Kopitar with the assist. So Kopitar with that assist passes Bernie Nichols for 8th all-time by Kings rookie scorers.
And again, we've seen it all season long. Breakout and entry on the power play. It's simple. Get the puck to Kopitar because of his size, speed, and strength along the boards. Even if you get a piece of him, many times he gets the puck into the offensive zone.
And the second period underway here at Staples Center as both teams at full strength. Puck taken by the Ducks, but they're offside when Solani picked it up. So the face-off coming up. The Kings here at home, 11-12-7 on the year. Anaheim on the road, 16 wins, 11 losses, and 3 overtime or shootout losses. Armstrong gets kicked out of the face-off spot. Andy McDonald facing off now against Camilleri, and the Kings control it. Here is Rob Blake. Sends it ahead. It's tipped down into the Anaheim zone. Dragged back behind the net for Francois Beauchemin. Beauchemin missed a big period of time for the Ducks, but he's back in action now as the Kings get it over to Camilleri on the left wing. Camilleri shoots, and it's just deflected wide by Giguère. Camilleri sends it in front and sent wide by Armstrong. Armstrong checked by Solani. Gets help from Frolov. Frolov trying to dig it out. He has it in the left wing corner.
Frolov still with it. Maintains control. Tried to give it Armstrong. Armstrong hanging on. Still has it. Comes to the top of the slot. Forced to the right side. Armstrong still with it. Gives it to Frolov behind the net. Frolov checked by Scott Niedermayer. Frolov tried to give it to Wisnowski. It went off his skate. And the Ducks, Andy McDonald, back down the right side. McDonald cut off by Wisnowski. Gets it over to Solani. Threw it in front of Kunitz, and he tipped it wide.
Solani elected not to take the one-timer. He felt he was backing off, maybe too far from the net. Tried to slide it across, and Kunitz could not pick it up with his skate.
Kings come back again and fire it back behind the net. Wisnowski threw it in deep. He goes over to the bench. Puck comes back out to center ice. Kings with a 1-0 lead. Scoring with only 8 seconds left to go in the first period. Jamie Lundmark at center ice. Gives it to Brian Wilsey. Now in deep. Here is Kunitz getting hit hard. Kings can't control it. And it's cleared up to Marchand at center ice. But back together for the Kings, Brent Sopel.
That's what John Zeiler does best. Gets in there, provides some energy, taking the body.
Marchand crossed the line, but offside. Anaheim at the King blue line.
Again, the Ducks did have a chance with Solani on the fake shot pass over to Kunitz. You'll see McDonald, because of that speed, McDonald's done that all night long, backing him up. You see the shot actually ends up, the shot pass ends up about knee high for Kunitz, so it's tough for him to pick it up, but you can see that Kunitz was open on the play. Perhaps Rob Blake got a piece of it, and that's why the pass came across about knee high. But Andy McDonald's done a good job for that line tonight with the speed in the neutral zone, backing everyone off, and when you do that, he spins up. People coming from behind become more dangerous.
We saw Solani over on the bench. 3 goals in the last 4 games for him, and he had a couple in that big comeback at Phoenix a couple of nights ago. There's another hard check. Zeiler this time, and along the boards. He threw the check, but the puck is held in. Sean O'Donnell, the recipient of that check by John Zeiler. Still a battle and a penalty coming up against the Kings. Puck rolled out in front. The Kings get control of it, but high sticking is the call.
It looks like Corey Perry was clipped, but the Kings got away with one earlier. John Zeiler, Bob, you'll see the kind of the counter pinch along the boards. O'Donnell's there, but Zeiler leaves his feet. And when you do that, normally that's a charging call, so the referees did not pick it up. You can see right there, O'Donnell goes down as Zeiler comes up. Good job by Zeiler to take the body on the counter pinch, but again, the Kings dodged that one right there. No call on that play. The play has been physical right from the drop of the puck, but later on, Jason Ward got his stick up against Corey Perry. High stick is the call. Anaheim is 0 for 1 so far. They did have one shot on a power play in period number 1.
So the Ducks with a chance here to even the score early in the second period. Kings win the draw. Lundmark drew it back, and a pass, clearing pass though, is taken away. Ducks get it in deep to Pinner, and he turned around and couldn't get a good shot. And the puck cleared this time. Back down in the Anaheim zone by Dustin Brown. Here now, Scott Niedermayer to Solani. Solani down the right side to Getzlaf. Up the middle. Here's Pronger. He shoots, and it's blocked on the way in and taken by the Kings. Here is Brown to center with Kostopoulos. Brown on the right wing. He gets stopped there, and the puck fired in deeper, but taken by Scott Niedermayer. Minute 23 left to go in the power play for Anaheim.
Collision right in front of the Kings bench, Bob. It looked like Kostopoulos and Solani. Solani just getting back to his feet. Looked like he was shaken up. It was well away from the play.
Here is Pronger shooting and deflected wide. Picked up behind the net by Dustin Penner. Over to Ryan Getzlaf. Up the middle it goes to Pronger. Back to Getzlaf. On the power play to Pronger. Shoots, tipped in front, loose puck, scores! Solani! He picked up the loose puck and went upstairs with it to tie the game. He gets his 35th goal of the year.
You want to see a sniper in action right here? Watch Solani when he retrieves the rebound here. Shot gets through. That's the important thing on the power play. Make sure it gets through. Solani, as I mentioned, was knocked down earlier on the shift. Got back up slowly, but the shot gets through. Watch him. Pull, drag, and so calmly. He knows that Guerin is extended. Watch the goaltender. Ends up making a save through a screen. Puck maybe not even got there, but because he's extended, Solani knows all he has to do is pull the puck, then go over top of the pad. Yeah, the first shot didn't make its way through. It actually hit Dustin Penner, but the patience of a sniper, Solani on the board once again. Power play. Ducks tied up 1-1.
Solani gets his 300th goal as a member of the Anaheim Ducks. Ties Paul Correa for the team's all-time goal-scoring record with 300.
It's so important. Alexander Frolov told us on the Kings goal that it's important to have that front of the net presence. You'll see the timing passes back and forth. If we keep an eye right here in front, there's Penner. The shot's going to end up coming through and actually stop at Penner. Out for the side is Solani, just waiting to see what's going to happen. Again, watch when Solani gets the puck. He just holds, pull, drag, and then slightly. He knows the goaltender's out of position from the standpoint of extending himself. And you can't really blame Garon because he couldn't see, even though the shot didn't get through. Penner's big body creates that distraction, and the man picking up the garbage puts it home. And there are the numbers Bob just mentioned, 300 career goals with Anaheim.
And Solani gets his 4th goal in the last 5 games to tie it up here at 1-1. Well, he's had a couple of great years in Anaheim, and they admitted themselves. Nobody expected that after he struggled that year in Colorado, but had the knee surgery and came back a new player.
Just had the turbos readjusted because he's got that first step quickness back again, and he did not have that year in Colorado. He struggled. Paul Correa, his friend, was there with him in Colorado. Nothing was going right, so the lockout hurt many people. And it was one of those things you want to stay away from, but from the standpoint of Teemu Solani, it helped him get back to 100% health.
Puck driven deep into the King zone and taken by Dustin Brown now, and he shovels it ahead to Armstrong. Armstrong across the line. And offside called against the Kings.
The Kings tried the counterattack with Aaron Miller jumping up, trying to make things happen. So just going offside at the last second. Don't forget Bob Miller is signing tomorrow for his book Tales from the Los Angeles Kings. 2 p.m. Barnes & Noble Bookstore on Ventura Boulevard in Encino. We hope to see you there. Bob Miller tomorrow signing his book.
Saw and had a chance to visit with a lot of good Kings fans last night at the Barnes & Noble in Glendale. And that was an enjoyable experience. I'll tell you, Kings fans, no doubt they're upset over the way things have gone this season, but they are fiercely loyal, and they all said, we're hanging in there, don't worry. Puck comes off the boards and deep into the Kings zone. Wisnowski back to get it. He gets checked there, but he still has the puck. Now it rolls away from him. In the corner, Ryan Getzlaff. Getzlaff behind the King net, tries to throw it in front of the save by Garon, and then he gets clipped by Corey Perry as Perry was driving to the net. It was Sean Thornton right in front of the net with that attempt.
Garon showing the strength right there to make sure he's not shoved over the goal line, holding on with his pad. Remember I mentioned Solani going down? It was on a change. The puck's way in the other end. There's Dustin Brown, the elbow coming up and stopping to make sure he gets a piece of Solani. After that, Solani got up, got back into the zone, found himself at the side of the net, tucked it home. Power play goal.
Now there's Dustin Brown. Jim already mentioned he had 180 hits coming into the game tonight.
I don't think that one counts.
I guess not.
It worked, but it doesn't count.
1-1 the score here in the second period. Bob Miller along with Jim Fox. And Patrick O'Neill as the puck is cleared up to center ice. Roloff gets taken down. Play continues. Puck back in the King zone and picked up by Sopel. Sopel now to Froloff. He tipped it out to center to Armstrong. Now to Camilleri in the left wing. Back to Armstrong. Back to Camilleri. Tried to come in front. He got taken out of the play, and the puck comes out toward the left point and out the center ice. Froloff hustles over to give it to Sopel. Now down to Armstrong. Armstrong into the corner. Sends it around over to Camilleri. Now Froloff. He's got the King goal tonight. Froloff tried to give it back to Camilleri, but it's taken away by Anaheim, and Chris Kunitz up the left wing. Kunitz with a shot and a save made by Garon. Kunitz with it again for Anaheim. Turns, shoots it, deflected off of the body or leg of Rob Blake. Now Ivanov chases it down. He's got Kostopoulos in front of the net. Kostopoulos got it on his stick, but shoveled it wide to the right side.
It's one of those plays. If Kostopoulos could see what was happening behind him, may have let that go because Jamie Lundmark also driving the net.
Now down to the corner of the Kings zone. It's dug out there. The Kings maintain control. Get it to Kostopoulos. Center ice and fired hard around the boards. Over on the right side by Aaron Miller. Kostopoulos trying to get to it. Marchand takes it away. Marchand checked by Lundmark. And the loose puck held in by Ivanov. Fires it back behind the net. Comes out to the right point. Aaron Miller took a hit but held it in. And it's taken away now and cleared up to center ice. Ducks come across the line, and the Kings take it away for a moment. Now get control as Lundmark throws it off on the left.
That last shift, Bob, Ivanovs and Peros out there respective enforcers for each team, and it looked like Peros wanted to get something going. Even Ons wanted nothing of it. He skated away from the play.
Rob Niedermeyer back behind the net. King zone. Niedermeyer for the Ducks. Checked by Weaver. Rob Niedermeyer still with it. Turns on his forehand, but his shot deflected in the corner. Rob Niedermeyer with it again. Tipped up in the air. Kings take it away. Here's Weaver. Quickly gets it up to center ice. Game tied at 1. Long shot by O'Sullivan. Save made. Here's Brown. Brown for the Kings. Anaheim zone. He gets a shot. Easy save there by Jaguar. And the Ducks clear it out to center ice. Travis Mullen. Left wing side. Shoots. And a shot wide to the right. Held in by Pronger. Pronger put it into Mullen, but he couldn't control it. Taken away behind the net by Sopel. Sopel gets checked there, and Kopitar back to help out. Kopitar's pass up ahead to Brown. Now here's Sopel. Had to go back to the King line to get it. Into the Anaheim zone, broken up and quickly cleared back out to center ice where the King Sopel gets it to Camilleri. He fires it around to Froloff. Froloff, Anaheim zone to Camilleri. Shoots and off the post. The goalie and the post. So the Kings have hit a couple of posts in this game. Wisnowski earlier.
The Ducks have tied it up in this period, but a little bit more speed from the Kings in period number 2.
Here's Kunitz. Shooting and a save by Garon. Tipped up high to McDonald. McDonald couldn't hold it in. Kings couldn't clear it though. Now the Ducks again. Kunitz shoots, save, rebound. Comes out toward the left side. Here's Beauchemin. Right side it goes and broken up there on the shot by Scott Niedermeyer. Picked up again by Kunitz. Tipped in front of the save made. It was not McDonald, I'm sorry. McDonald, now Kunitz with it. Here's McDonald to the blue line. Gets it back again on the right side. The Ducks with pressure around the King zone. Scott Niedermeyer drops it off on the right side. And now to Solani. Solani had it tipped away and out to center ice by Rob Blake.
Finally, the reach of Rob Blake makes things difficult for the Ducks. Otherwise, they had control.
Blake again breaks it up, gets it to Seiler. Seiler looking for his first ever NHL goal. Throws it in front, but it's intercepted. Ducks have it now as Sean Thornton moves it up to center ice, taken away by John Seiler. Here's Seiler down the left side. Thornton checks in. Seiler bounces off the check. Tries to go in deep, taken out of the play. Cleared out to center ice. Chased down by Getzlaff. Weaver steps in front of him. And the Ducks send it down in deep. And there's looked like a high stick, but nothing. Well, are they going to call it now?
I don't think either referee saw it, Bob. Corey Perry went in on the forecheck and almost got his stick jammed up against the boards, then off the chin of Mike Weaver. And Weaver's trying to talk to the referee, and the referee's saying, I didn't see it. If they see it, perhaps high sticking against Perry. Wow.
BMW has designed brakes so intelligent they talk to the rain sensor. And when told it's raining, they apply just enough friction to stay dry and in control. An idea that's arrived not a moment too soon. Lease a BMW 328i for $349 a month until February 28th.
To illustrate my theory that Mercury insurance rates are so low because it's run by aliens from the planet Mercury, I've created this scale model of Mercury Insurance corporate headquarters. It's got a Mercurian spacecraft landing pad. That way they can keep the building staffed around the clock to provide their customers with 24/7 claim service, like so.
Call 8884-MERCURY or visit mercurytheory.com.
Gravity will propel this Lexus IS over 4,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This Lexus IS will attempt to cover the same distance even faster. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. So much for gravity. See your Southern California Lexus dealer.
Well, the bodies have been flying all night long, way back in the first period. These two guys were on the ice the last little while. Peros and Ivanons. I mentioned George Peros trying to make something happen. You'll see Ivanons, they bump into each other, and then a slash on the back of the leg. Peros is yelling, trying to get it going. Now, Ivanons elects right here not to do anything, but many times that comes after instructions from the coach. tough guys, you know, they know their role. They'll drop the gloves, and even Ons has done that. But there are many games you go into where the coach says, if this situation comes up, go ahead. If this situation comes up, don't. And perhaps that was one of those situations because even on just turned the other way and stayed away from the fight or the confrontation.
Marchand wins the draw. Shot from the blue line by Pronger, deflected wide. Picked up now and sent in front by Penner. Tipped down in deep behind the net. Taken by Sandy Paulson. Now a pass right up the middle there, taken away by Weaver, and it's flipped up, and a penalty coming to the Kings.
One of those automatic delay of game. Mike Weaver was being pressured from behind. I know we mentioned it earlier. Rob Blake is on the competition committee for the NHL, and this is one of the rules that kind of befuddled a lot of people. And you know, people felt maybe this should be adjusted and taken out, but as you can see right there, as Rob Blake mentioned earlier, a vast majority of the times when that play happens is because the player is being pressured and you're trying to just get the puck out. And when you do that, it goes over the boards. I kind of like this situation. It keeps the scoring chances going. You can't just use the glass or getting it over the glass to get yourself into trouble.
Weaver gets 2 minutes for delay of game. Anaheim, 1 out of 2 on the power play. Kings looking for a short-hander as Dustin Brown came in but broke his stick on the shot. He's got to go to the bench. He'll stay on the bench. Anaheim with a power play right now, and Solani had their power play goal, so he's got 19 on the year to lead the NHL. Puck driven in and cleared back out to center ice. Here is Andy McDonald. His pass off on the right side. Solani shoots, blocked, and not cleared yet by the Kings. Now it's cleared to the blue line, but held in by Solani. Now tipped out to center ice.
That was Aaron Miller diving to block that shot, Bob, and it looked like Miller ended up almost diving head first instead of feet first to block it.
Here's Solani again, left side on the power play. Feeds it back to Pronger. They get it set up. Pronger. His shot save and a rebound. Blake throws a check there, and the puck comes back up to Pronger. Over to Solani. One-timer wide. Rebound to Aaron Miller. Miller on the backhand. To Kostopoulos, but he didn't get the pass cleanly and couldn't clear it. Now he poked it out to center ice.
Well, Kostopoulos had the first chance, could not do it. Then he kept the pressure up on Niedermayer. Tried to buy himself room. The poke check worked with Kostopoulos.
Kings get it back out to center ice again. They've changed the assist on Solani's goal tonight. Here is Solani, gives it back to Pronger on the power play. Pronger at the left point. Now held in there, and he gets it back again from McDonald. Pronger feeds it down into Solani. Solani looking in front, gives it to Pronger. Up the middle, back to Pronger. Pronger didn't get it. 19 seconds left to go in the power play. Tipped off on the right side to Scott Niedermayer. He gives it to Solani. Solani, the Penner, and his shot wide to the left. Rebound, Aaron Miller trying to get to it. Gets it to Froloff, and he clears to center ice.
Froloff taking no chances, making sure he uses his body to shield the puck first, then clear it of his own.
The change they've made has taken assist away from Getzlaff. Solani's goal is now from Penner and Pronger. Kings have it. Here's Blake. Blake trying to give it off the left side to Zeiler. Ducks got one shot on that power play. Kings are back at full strength. Game is still tied 1-1. Puck comes all the way back to the King blue line and in the King zone, and Brent Sopel back to get it.
We'll see if the Kings can get back to doing what they were doing earlier in this period. They have given up the power play goal to Solani, but I think the Kings have had more speed in the second period, especially with the puck on attack.
Kings get it up to center ice, but a check knocks Vishnowsky down. Getzlaff tried to drag and pull it in front and then lost the puck, and the Kings come back. Up to center ice is Armstrong cutting down the left wing. Armstrong to Froloff. He tipped it, and a save and a penalty for slashing coming up against the Ducks. Well, a nice setup there by Armstrong. Kings will go on the power play.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
President's Day only comes once a year, and to celebrate, GMC has a commanding offer. 0% financing on almost every 07. Like 0% for 60 months on the Sierra Classic. Hurry, 5 days only, then this term ends. More GMC trucks are sold in LA than anywhere in the nation.
Space Mountain and California Screamin'. Now rocking to new music tracks for a limited time. 2 new songs that rock, 2 coasters that roll, and a twofer ticket that lets SoCal residents ride them both. Buy one park ticket, come back to the other park free. 2 days, 2 parks, 2 new reasons to ride. At the place where dreams come true. Only through April 26th.
With an exhilarating 258 horsepower VTEC engine, an intelligent performance-minded cockpit, double wishbone suspension, and true surround sound. All you need to do is get in. The TL from Acura.
Now you can lease an Acura TL for $369 a month for 36 months.
Sean Burke's numbers with the Kings this year: 3-3-2, goals against average 2.16, save percentage 93.2. But the singular fast fact tells us he had some pretty good numbers when he started his NHL career. 10-1 start, first 11 games, New Jersey, back in 87-88.
Well, he's done a great job coming in late in this season after not playing very much in the minor leagues, sent there by Tampa Bay. And I would imagine, although I'm not trying to make the decision for Mark Crawford, but he said probably he would split the goaltenders in this home-and-home series.
And he did say that yesterday, Bob, and of course the coach does have the choice and the option to change his mind at a later date, but I assume that's what we'll see.
And Garon's played well tonight. That's good to see. Here's Kopitar into the Anaheim zone. Kopitar on the power play, back to the right side. Now gets it back, top of the right circle. Kopitar hangs on, feeds it into Camilleri. Camilleri behind the net. Brown is right in front with his stick on the ice. Now it comes over to Kopitar. Up the middle to Wisniewski to Kopitar. Kopitar, his shot blocked by O'Donnell. Held in by Blake. Blake into Camilleri. Camilleri checked there, gets it around toward Kopitar in the corner. Kopitar checked hard by Paulson, feeds it across, a shot by Blake and a save by Jaguar. Puck went high in the air off his shoulder, and the Ducks get to it, and Pronger has plenty of time to clear into the King zone.
The shot by Rob Blake was dangerous because of that work along the boards of Andrei Kopitar. You talk about strength. Sammy Paulson came in there, and Paulson's a strong player, but he could not knock Kopitar off the puck.
Nice move by Frolov. Down the left wing, now to Sopel. Shoots and a save by Jaguar.
Well, the Kings getting a couple chances on this power play. Still 48 seconds. I mentioned Kopitar earlier. Paulson can be as strong as anyone. He comes in, tries to take the body. Look at Kopitar. You see Kopitar peek there earlier, so when he gets to the puck, he doesn't have to look up. And that shot by Blake comes in a little bit high, but strength along the boards. Kopitar has done it all night long.
And the Kings win this draw. Back to Wisniewski. Now a shot by Sopel and a save by Jaguar. Roloff for the Kings. Feeds it in now. Pass up to Wisniewski with a drive wide. Rebound over to Frolov again. DeSopel lost it out to center ice.
Much better for the Kings on the power play since the first period. They did score with Frolov at the end of the period, but here the puck has been moving around side to side, and the Pellet Killers having a difficult time keeping up with that puck.
Frolov to Armstrong. 20 seconds left to go on the power play. Armstrong shoots and a save by J.S. Jaguar.
Never a bad idea to get that puck on net at some point. 4 shots for the Kings so far in this power play. The Kings Hockey Fights Cancer 5K Run Walk takes place next Saturday, February 24th, Kings Training Center, El Segundo. Pre-registration only $30, includes a ticket to the Kings game that night against Colorado. And as an extra bonus, if you beat Darrell Evans in the race, the Kings radio color commentator, you have a chance to win season seats for next year. Information, lakings.com/5K.
Here's Armstrong, left side on the power play to Frolov. Right point to Sopel. Sopel shot blocked by Rob Niedermeyer and then cleared. And that's going to do it for the King power play. Anaheim back at full strength. Game still tied 1-1. Each team has a power play goal. Frolov for the Kings. Solani for the Ducks. Here's Getzlaff with a shot. Blocked. Solani picked it up in the corner.
It's a priority shift because we'll see if the Kings can build on that power play. Even though they didn't score, they had chances. Moved the puck well, of course, from the Ducks. They want to make sure they turn the momentum the other way. See what happens here on this shift.
Kostopoulos drove it in wide. Now here's Ivanons. Ivanons down the corner, Anaheim zone. Rightus Ivanons turns, gets a shot, and it was going wide, but Jaguar slides out to hang on to it.
I think Jaguar doing the right thing right there. The power play is over. Take no chances. Hold on. Get a whistle.
I own a small office supply store, but I got a big plan, thanks to Jack. Chapter 6, Premium Products. Jack says, surprise your customers with something unique. He does it with ciabatta burgers, sandwiches, and salads. Me? I got this. Can you go close? Solid gold staple. This is how I become nuts. Nobody move.
Premium products. From the guy who wrote the book.
It's a real smooth ride. I'm John, and this is my Toyota Yaris. It has good fuel economy, gets about 40 miles to the gallon. I'm 6 foot tall, and it's a lot of room for me. The two people that I carpool with, they're also 6 foot, and we all can fit in it fine. It's real compact. It helps me to maneuver through traffic real easily and find parking spaces. It handles well, it sticks to the road well. It actually has really good acceleration. You hit the accelerator, boom, you're gone. I love my Toyota Yaris.
See your Southern California Toyota dealer.
The number 23. Anyone finding a resemblance to characters in his book, proceed no further.
It's like my childhood, my memories. It's imitating my life.
Somebody wrote a book about Dad?
My driver's license, social security number. It's all 23. The author, it's as if he chose me.
What about the fact that he becomes a killer?
A killer? What's happening to me?
This is not who you are.
You wouldn't hurt anyone.
How do you know?
The number 23, rated R, February 23rd.
Well, the Ducks have their dad's trip going right now. 18 fathers, one father-in-law traveling with the team right now for the next 5 days. Of course, Scott Niedermeyer and Rob Niedermeyer, brothers, and Brian Burke kind of joked about that the other day. He said, we're saving money. They only have one dad. They're brothers. But the one thing you want to say about Scott Niedermeyer, Bob, you talk about his skating, his poise, his strength. Every coach says he's a low-maintenance superstar. As far as ego goes, he doesn't need the credit. He just does his job game in, game out. He doesn't need the accolades, but put him on the ice exactly where you want him.
47 points for him, tied for second among defensemen of the NHL, and 17 points in the last 17 games for Scott Niedermeyer. Both teams are at full strength here with a game tied 1-1. Puck cleared to center ice. Aaron Miller took it away for the Kings, gets it to right as Evenons. Sends it in deep in the Anaheim zone. This is the 73rd game between the Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. Kings lead the series. Offside called here. The Kings have won 31, the Ducks 28. 11 were tied, 2 losses in OT.
And a reminder, tomorrow night Pac-10 basketball returns to FSN when the 22nd ranked USC Trojans take on Arizona State. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. in high definition right here on FSN West.
4:19 to go in the second period. Face-off just outside the King blue line.
Big win by the Bruins today in Arizona. Won by 15, so that Pac-10. A lot of exciting stuff going out there. We'll have to see how many teams make in the March Madness tournament because a pretty good conference going on right now in the Pac-10.
Kopitar down in deep, flipped it behind the net, taken away by former King Sean O'Donnell, and he clears up the center ice. Mike Weaver back to get it for the Kings, but his pass taken away by Anaheim. Sent in deep by Pronger, now picked up at center ice by George Peros, right in front of the Anaheim bench, but it's taken away by Dustin Brown. Brown trying to come across the line, but Pronger makes the play and takes him out. And here is Dustin Penner. Penner drives it down in deep and sent right out in front. And Garon makes that stop, and puck comes down the right side to Jason Ward. Ducks take it away. Pope checked away there, but the Kings would have been offside had they touched it. They did not, and they want to get a line change. Puck driven deep into the Kings zone. Blake back to touch it. 3:15 to go in the second period. So the game, as far as the physicality after the whistle has settled down a little bit here in the second period.
Maybe taking his toll, Bob. It's taken this long to figure it out by me. Matty Nordstrom only played just a smidgen over 3 minutes in the first period. I don't think we've seen him here in the second. Yeah. I don't believe he's on the bench, so perhaps something happened earlier to the Kings captain.
Here on the right side is Wilsey for the Kings. To Aaron Miller, right point. Back to Wilsey. Shoots, just deflected wide by Zeiler. And it is cleared out to center ice. Getzlaff chasing it down, and Aaron Miller getting back. There's a man in front as Getzlaff tried to feed Corey Perry, but never got through to him. Shot from the blue line is knocked down there and picked up again by Beauchemin. Beauchemin, right side. Shot is wide and off the boards by Sean Thornton. Kings haven't been able to clear it yet. Getzlaff holds it in behind the net. Corey Perry stops there. Thornton's in front. Puck comes to the blue line to Scott Niedermeyer. Right side, Beauchemin with a drive, knocked down in front. Comes right back over to him at the right point. Gets it to Scott Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer feeds it down now to Corey Perry. Here's Perry on the left side. He gets it down in deep to Getzlaff. Still with it, up the middle, shot by Beauchemin, is saved by Garon, and the puck taken by Wisnowski.
I'm not going to see a better save than that because that's a point-blank shot. The goaltender has to move side to side. And Wisnowski just throws one wide right there, but Garon had to come out. He had to move. At the same time, big stop on the one-timer.
Blake back to get it, but he had lost his stick, and he had to throw it into the corner where Solani got to it, but he couldn't keep it in the zone. Minute 28 left to go here in the second period. Solani, right side, shoots from a sharp angle. It's deflected up out of play with a minute 24 to go.
Now Solani had to try there. I think it was Beauchemin, Bob, that last save, the point blank where Matthew Garon keep on the goaltender. He has to go one post to the other. Actually, a deflection on the play goes off the stick of Wisnowski. So the movement's there, and then the ability to be square. You could see Garon, he was going to his right. The puck redirected back to his left, so he had to scramble at the end. But sometimes early position gets you out of trouble, and that's what happened. One push, square, be in position. That's what happened. Garon makes a save.
Now Armstrong against Solani on the faceoff in the Kings zone, and Solani wins the draw. Back to the left point. Sean O'Donnell sends it down low on the boards. Kunitz had it, but tipped away from him and picked up on the right side by Frolov. Frolov shoots and off the glove of Jaguar. Frolov jumped around Sean O'Donnell, but now back to center. Here's Solani. He's got the Anaheim goal tonight. Solani's pass right side, shot wide to the left as he threw it off on the right to Pronger.
Chris Pronger, defenseman jumping up. That changes the read and certainly created an outnumbered attack. And Pronger just shovels it wide.
Solani went for it, but it was tipped away from him by Camilleri. Camilleri trying to pick it up, and it is chipped off the boards to Frolov. Now to center ice. Here's Wisnowski. Got a man coming down the middle. It was Armstrong. He couldn't get it to him. Here is Solani giving it to Andy McDonald. Putting in. McDonald in front. He shoots. Saved by Garon. And we're still tied at 1. Kings get it up to center ice. Here across the line, right side. O'Sullivan trying to fight his way in. Boy, both goaltenders. Garon, especially lately, has come up with some great saves. There's Kopitar. Kopitar's pass out to the right wing, but taken away with 9 seconds to go in the period. Sammy Paulson sends it across the line. Kings get to it, and it's cleared to center ice, and that's going to do it. 2 periods gone. A very spirited game, and Solani tied it here in the second, 1-1.
Well, Matthew Garon had rust in the last game he played. That rust is gone. He's back. You'll see Andy McDonald. No one has bought space for himself tonight more than McDonald. Sopel tries to get a hook, goes to the backhand, and there's the flexibility. McDonald tried to slide it in between the legs of Garon, but because of the flexibility going side to side, covers the low position. We're still tied 1-1.
Solani with his 35th of the year tied it up on the power play. We're going to join Patrick O'Neill and Tom Murray in our studio right after these words.
It's also one of the most fuel-efficient 8-passenger SUVs in America, the Pilot, from Honda. Now get APR financing as low as 0.9% on select Honda trucks for well-qualified buyers.
Is life getting to you?
You just have to honor the correct price. You got that?
I can't do this many leaves for $10.
On March 2nd, 4 friends.
We need to get away.
Road trip? 2,000 miles.
Now, what do we have here? You wearing pants?
No. How wild
What did you do? I blew up their bar.
can it get?
I wanted to say something funny, but all I could think of was black jokes. Please, do tell.
Wild Hogs. Rated PG-13.
Welcome to my casa. It's your boy B-Can. Here's my foyer. This is my game room. This right here's my new suede couch. To the pool, baby. These are my ladies. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hey man, who are you?
Steve.
You part of the crew?
No, I'm just here for the Bud Light.
Who gave you that? Wednesday, did you give him that?
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Yeah, this is where I spend most of my... Man, put down my papaya!
Visit your Southern California Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hanson for the series from Warren Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, experience the rugged beauty of Telluride, Colorado, as we glide through the air and climb the treacherous Rockies. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
It's television's most prestigious fishing tournament, FLW Outdoors.
Look at the bend in that rod.
The ultimate weekly challenge in competitive fishing.
Woo! Huge fish.
Follow the world's top anglers as they go head-to-head in a race to hook the day's most elusive catch. And battle it out for the right to be crowned world champion. FLW Outdoors, tomorrow on FSN.
You're watching FSN West.
We are through 2 periods of play at Staples Center, and the Kings and the Ducks all knotted up at 1 goal apiece. Hello, everybody. I'm Patrick O'Neill inside our studios here at Staples Center. Joining me now is our hockey analyst, Tom Murray. You know what, Tom? We were down there. What we got going on between the Ducks and the Kings, 2 teams that absolutely hate each other. First period, all these penalties, a couple of fights. Things settled down there in the second period, but some good hockey going on.
Well, it's great to see. It's kind of, you don't want to overblow it, Patrick, but it's kind of a playoff atmosphere here. It really is. And there's not a whole lot at stake here for the Kings except for the bragging rights that we've been talking about all night. And, it's important for the young guys to have this kind of experience, for the young guys to kind of get into the flow, know what this whole rivalry is like. There's a lot of guys that are playing, their first year here with the Kings. So this is going to be a very important thing for them as this series progresses, as the rivalry progresses, and as their careers progress, in the years to come. And as I was saying off camera before we got into this, in a couple of years, the Kings are going to be a really good team. And it's
Can
going
we
to be
just
really
say
fun.
next year? Does it have to be a couple of years?
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure Dean Lombardi's thinking that way. But, Mike, look at this play that Kopitar makes here along the boards here. Spinny, getting the puck out to Brett Sobel, and Frolov with a great tip past J.S. Shigeru.
Yeah, that was a power play goal. They snap an 0-for-27 skid at home, Tom.
Right, and then here's Solani scoring his 300th goal as a Duck, 35th of the year, and there's, a typical sniper goal by a guy with great patience to not only be in the right place to score the goal, but then when he gets the puck on his stick, getting it on his stick and putting it in a position to score. I mean, that's a goal scorer's goal.
Yeah, a goal scorer's dream. Certainly, Solani 300 as a Duck. You mentioned it. Absolutely incredible. All right, so the Kings, you know what? They're playing for pride, but the Ducks certainly have a lot to play for, because they're chasing Nashville. This is an important game for them.
Absolutely. Nashville just got Peter Forsberg. The Ducks are still in contention for the best record in the league. They're getting ready for the playoffs. So a lot's at stake here for both these teams, from a pride standpoint for the Kings and from a point standpoint for the Ducks, and it'll be a fun third period to watch.
Yeah, indeed it will. Hey, we're going to come back. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We're going to talk about what we have coming up on our post-game show. We'll take a look at Nashville and Peter Forsberg. That's coming up on the other side of this break. Ducks, Kings knotted up 1 apiece. Keep it locked right here at FSN West.
Like a force of nature, Infinity Acceleration's swell technology unleashes power in a way that feels virtually endless. The all-new Infinity G, 306 horsepower, beyond machine.
Great Scott! I forgot to tell Marty when he gets back to the future, he needs to get DirecTV HD. They already have all the best channels, and soon they'll have 3 times more HD capacity than cable. Impossible? That's what they said about my flux capacitor!
For a future of 150 HD channels, get DirecTV.
Now during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event, not only will you get a great deal on every new 2007 Lincoln, you'll also get an additional $1,000 bonus cash when you purchase a Lincoln Mark LT or the new Lincoln MKZ, voted best luxury car interior. Plus, lease the new redesigned Navigator with an all-new interior for just $539 a month for 36 months. only during the Lincoln Mercury President's Day event. Hurry to your Southern California Lincoln Mercury dealer. Offers end February 19th.
Gravity will propel this Lexus IS over 4,000 feet in a matter of seconds. This Lexus IS will attempt to cover the same distance even faster. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350. So much for gravity. Attractive leases available on all 2007 IS models for a limited time at your Lexus dealer.
All right, welcome back to this intermission report. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. You see that the Nashville Predators lose to the Wild 4-1. Pavel Demitra gets on the board for the Wild. And the Rangers, they lose to the Flyers. Now, of course, you had Peter Forsberg traded to Nashville in his debut for the Predators. They were chanting, "Welcome, Forsberg." And in that game with Philadelphia, Brendan Shanahan of Detroit taken to the hospital. He collided with Mike Knuble. We'll show you all that. We'll look at Forsberg's debut on our post-game show immediately following this game. We'll be right back.
It started with a simple idea. Build an automobile that takes the sheer joy of driving to a whole new level. Use advanced technologies without sacrificing fuel economy. Take advantage of a racing-inspired heritage. Provide an interior space that fulfills every need. The TSX from Acura.
Now you can lease an Acura TSX for $299 a month for 36 months.
How you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Oh. What you doing? Was you eating a burger? No, I'm a burger guy sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Don't be top with me, you know what I mean? Oh my God, what's with it, man? One sushi, one sushi. What is your fluffy cheesesteak kind guy? This burger. Cheesesteak right there, you know what I'm saying? Popeyes, all day onion, you know, cheese, huh? And a story. Unbelievable. Yeah, hello. All right, baby, the meter's always running.
Philly cheesesteak burgers. New at Carl's Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
President's Day only comes once a year, and to celebrate, GMC has a commanding offer. 0% financing on almost every 07. Like 0% for 60 months on the Sierra Classic. Hurry, 5 days only, then this term ends. More GMC trucks are sold in LA than anywhere in the nation.
Okay, see you later.
Your world of music now on the new Red Sync. Free when you sign up for AT&T Yahoo High-Speed Internet. Singular is now the new AT&T. Your world delivered.
In honor of President's Day, your Honda dealer is making some very impressive offers on your favorite Honda car or truck. From the innovative Ridgeline and 8-passenger Pilot to the stylish Accord and ever-popular Civic. In fact, you could even say that no price is carved in stone. But we wouldn't because it doesn't sound, you know, very presidential. The President's Day celebration. Lease a Honda Accord for $199 a month for well-qualified customers.
You're watching FSN West.
Welcome back to downtown Los Angeles. Great look at Staples Center. Good game going tonight. Great game going tonight. A lot of energy. First period hitting back and forth. Second period, the Ducks end up tying it up. That's where we stand after 40 minutes to play 1-1. Jack-in-the-box stats. The Ducks did have more shots in period number 2 than the Kings. 10-8. The scoring chances now dead even. The Kings did have the lead after the first period. Both teams do have a power play goal. The Ducks 1 for 3. The Kings 1 for 5. We talked about Matty Nordstrom near the end of the second period. Matty played 5 shifts. 3:09 in period number 1. Did not play a shift in period number 2. So we hope to get a report on Matty Nordstrom. not available for play in the second period. Kings and Ducks, back right after this.
Hey guys. No way. Yeah. Sorry. I think the printer's out of ink.
Just shake it.
That is your money, man. Because I staged it. Did I show it? Who showed it?
Out of ink? Get $3 off your total purchase with any empty ink cartridge from these brands. Staples, that was easy.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Me too. All right, here's what I want to talk about today. Working in an office. I don't think we've talked about that on the show yet. Anybody remember? I didn't think so. Okay, so here's what made me think about it. What if you're a neat freak and then you're forced to share an office with someone who's a pig? You know what I mean, Francis. Come on. It's just a term. My life is far from ordinary. That's why my card is American Express.
Roger, night down for me, please.
All set here.
Being fastest from 0 to 60 is good. Truckers say fastest from 40 to 70, even better. Throw in 4 massive disc brakes, and you got yourself one happy ending. Available on the all-new full-size Tundra. The truck that's changing it all.
The ladies of Pac-10 basketball hit the floor in March as the State Farm Women's Tourney tips off at HP Pavilion in San Jose. For more information, log on to pac10.org or call Ticketmaster.
You're watching FSN West.
BMW has designed brakes so intelligent they talk to the rain sensor, and when told it's raining, they apply just enough friction to stay dry and in control. An idea that's arrived not a moment too soon. Lease a BMW 328i for $349 a month until February 28th.
FSN West presents Kings Hockey, brought to you by Mountain Dew, Do the Do, and by Staples. That was easy.
One period left to go here at Staples Center in Los Angeles. The game tied 1-1, but there's more hockey action coming up for you tomorrow as the NHL is on NBC. And here are the 3 games that they will televise tomorrow. The Sharks against the Dallas Stars, Chicago Blackhawks against the New York Rangers, and the Washington Capitals against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Check your local listings for those games. Well, this has certainly been an entertaining game here tonight. It's only 1-1, but that doesn't mean it's not fast-paced or entertaining. And in fact, Jim, between periods, everybody that the fans coming by with me said, this is a great game. I love it because it's the type of hockey that was played, at least in the first period, several years ago.
A little bad blood there in the first period. That just made it more interesting the rest of the way. It was as physical in the second as it was in the first. There just wasn't the skirmishes after the whistle. Those went away. That's kind of a normal situation. Many times that does happen where early in the game, you get that out of the way, then you settle down. I think both teams have done a great job in making sure they get as many men back as possible. Both teams have had outnumbered attacks maybe once in the game, and that was with a defenseman jumping into the play. Other than that, it's kind of 5 men back to make sure you don't allow the chances against.
And I think we'll see both teams stick to hockey here in the third period with a game tied at 1-1.
That's right, the 2 points certainly important for the Ducks. The Kings, again, just trying to make sure they keep progressing as a team, keep improving, those types of things. Frolov has the power play goal for the Kings, and Solani, the power play goal for the Ducks.
coming into this game, people made a lot of reference to where the teams are in the standings, and Coach Randy Carlisle of Anaheim said, in our situation, we have to think that any team is going to be hard to play against. We know the Kings are competitive, and they're our #1 rivals. So taking nothing for granted coming in against a Kings team that is having a tough year. Third period ready to start. Both teams at full strength, and Armstrong wins the faceoff from Andy McDonald at center ice, and the Kings have it. Fired across the blue line. Broken up there and sent back to Solani at center ice. Solani to Kunitz. Solani goes right down the middle. Shot saved by Garon, who's knocked or deflected wide. Picked up again by Kunitz. Now held in by Solani. Here's Solani on the right side. Dropped it off to Andy McDonald. McDonald's pass to Kunitz. He tipped it wide on the right side, and the Kings get to it as Camilleri puts it behind the net to Wisnowski. He sweeps it over to Frolov. Now sent by Camilleri in deep. Armstrong trying to get to it. Camilleri within the corner. Tried to give it back to Armstrong. Chased down by the Ducks, and they move it up ahead to Sammy Paulson. Down into the right corner to Rob Niedermeyer. Niedermeyer checked there by Weaver. Weaver has it, lost it. Mullen with a shot. Now Paulson with a shot from a sharp angle. Save made by Garon. And the puck taken back out to center ice by Andrzej Kopitar. Broken up by Anaheim. Paulson out on the ice now, playing in his 252nd consecutive game tonight. At the blue line, Wisnowski throws it into the right wing corner. Zeiler goes for there, taken by the Kings, and trying to make a move was Kopitar, but Getzlaf took it away. Gets it up ahead to center ice. Corey Perry throws it in deep. Goaltender Garon gives it over now to Wisnowski to Brown. Brown to center ice. Here on the right side is Aaron Miller. Into the corner. Zeiler goes for there. Zeiler, Jim, has thrown his body around here in his first ever NHL game.
You've got to be noticed, and he's doing whatever he can to be noticed. Again, his style of play, as you mentioned, I talked to him right before the game. It's just get in there, supply energy, and he certainly has done that tonight for the Kings, both in his own zone and on the forecheck. Hockey Night Out packs include tickets, nachos, and beers for two starting just $52. The next Hockey Night Out is this Thursday, 7:30, the Vancouver Canucks. Call 1-888-KINGS-LA to get your pack now. And Bob, we do get information from Jeff Moeller, the Kings Communication Department. Maddie Norsham, lower body injury, will not return. So the Kings, like they had to do in the second period, juggling the defense pairs.
Here in front, a backhander blocked in front. As cutting down the left side was Dustin Penner, and the Kings back to center ice. Jamie Lundmark throws it in deep. Goes for it back behind the net. Ducks try to take it away as Todd Marchand came in. Now the puck along the boards, and Weaver over quickly to hold it into Wilsey, but now broken up and cleared back out to center ice by Joe DePenta.
We talked about it, the Kings trying to get reads on young players. No better game than the style of game we've had tonight to get a read on a young player, how he's going to react under pressure, how he's going to react when the physical play picks up a little bit. So far the Kings have been hanging in there.
Todd Marchand down the right side, a backhander knocked away by Garon. Kings within their own zone as Rob Blake had his pass taken away by Travis Mullen. Mullen gets to the blue line, shot by Beauchemin, deflected wide. Ducks with it again. Sammy Paulson shoots. They try to get a deflection, but Mullen couldn't tip it in. Puck comes in toward Rob Niedermeyer. Rob Niedermeyer with it, back to the blue line. Now right side, Scott Niedermeyer shoots, deflected up out of play. And boy, when you don't clear that puck, you get into a lot of trouble.
And that's the way the game started for the Ducks. They had that shift at the beginning of the game. Now they had another one. You see that more and more now, though, in the NHL. Because of the inability of defenders to grab on and hook on, it's more of a contain attitude by many of the defensive teams in their own zone. So you'll probably see more puck possession in the offensive zone. But if you're the team containing, you want to make sure you have your body between the puck carrier and the net at all times. You don't want to lose that body position.
Solani out now with Andy McDonald and Chris Kunitz for the Ducks. Puck comes into the Kings zone and taken there by Wisnowski. Kings have Camilleri up front as the puck comes back into the zone. Armstrong and Frolov, the other wingers, or the other forwards, I should say. The puck is cleared up to center ice to Camilleri. Camilleri to Frolov, and it is taken away by Sean O'Donnell. He gets it up on the right side to Kunitz, who drives it back behind the net. Garon to Wisnowski. Wisnowski checked in the corner, but he got it back again from Kunitz, and he gives it to Camilleri. To Frolov. Frolov trying to split the defense. Pronger and O'Donnell back. Pass over to Armstrong. Armstrong, he had a man in front of his Camilleri, but couldn't get it to him. And the puck cleared back out to the King blue line. Here's Weaver. Mike Weaver banks it off the boards to Frolov. He sends it in behind the net. Poked behind the net there by Jaguar out to the right point. Aaron Miller, his shot deflected off a skate. Back out to center ice.
Tough sledding for both teams right now. Again, they have some puck possession, but unable to get the pucks on net.
Quick pass to Ivanons on the left wing. He fights off a check. Ivanons tried to throw it in front. He did, and it's taken away by the Ducks. Here on the right side, Thornton. Sean Thornton sends it wide. Getzlaf plays it off the boards. His pass taken away and now cleared out to center ice. Lundmark had taken it away. Ducks back to get it in the neutral zone. Flip down into the right wing corner, and back to get it is Wisnowski. Wisnowski checked by Sean Thornton. Gets it to Kostopoulos. He cleared it to center, but it's taken away by Corey Perry, and his pass deflected off Kopitar. Now sent the length of the ice, and this will be icing if the Kings get to it, and they do. And an icing call against Anaheim.
Once again, a lot of different pairs out there, because when you have the odd number, only 5D for the Kings, you're going to have to split things up. Mountain Dew upcoming schedule tomorrow at Anaheim, 5 p.m. KDOC, and 11:50 a.m. with Nick Nixon and Darrell Evans. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Radio only, Vancouver Canucks. Next Saturday, a week from tonight, 7:30 start, FSN West, the Kings and the Avs.
A chance a week from tonight to see Joe Sakic, and he just keeps rolling along, doesn't he, Jim, with the goals?
5 points the other night.
I know. What a great player. Puck is taken by the Ducks, and they move it up to center ice. Flip down into the right corner by Travis Mullen, but the Kings break it up, pass up the middle, and the Kings bring it out to center. Lundmark fighting his way to center ice. Sends it behind the net. The game tied 1-1. Frolov on a power play for the Kings, his 31st goal of the year. Solani on a power play for the Ducks, his 35th. Here's Andy McDonald, left wing. Shoots and a save by Garon. Rebound, McDonald, wrap around and a save. And a rebound, score! On the rebound, it came on the left wing side. And Chris Kunitz puts it in to give Anaheim the 2-1 lead.
That's the type of goal that's going to have to be scored. You're going to have to pay a price, and the Ducks paid a price, but Kunitz ends up whacking maybe 3, maybe 4 times. Garon did a great job to get post to post. McDonald has been exceptional tonight, just making things happen. McDonald tries the wraparound. 1 wrap, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th whack by Kunitz. Finally the leg, you'll see just at the skate, comes off the post by Garon. Once, twice. This is the 3rd whack right there by Kunitz. Again, McDonald had the first one. You'll get a great look at it right here. Keep an eye right in here, because that's where it's going to happen. And it just slides underneath the skate of Matthew Garon. You see the flexibility there of Garon, but because Kunitz had so many chances, McDonald was cleared out by Aaron Miller, but no secondary pressure defensively. Ducks lead it 2-1.
Kunitz getting only his 3rd goal in the last 27, and he gives them a 2-1 lead. Puck cleared out to center ice. Kunitz is 19th of the year from McDonald and Solani at 5:48. So the Ducks get their first lead of the game. Puck comes into Wisnowski to Aaron Miller. Now to Camilleri in the Kings zone. Puck held in now as the Kings have to go back into their zone to get it. Now it's tipped by Camilleri to center ice. He tipped it to himself and it comes across the line. Gives it to Armstrong. His backhander is wide. Rebound. Paulson with it. Clears it out to center.
One thing here in the 3rd, the Ducks have picked up their first man pressure on the forecheck. They're getting in, taking the body.
Here is Armstrong, left wing corner. He's got Frolov with him, but it's tipped away and up to center ice. Perry gives it to Getzlaf. Getzlaf, backhander, knocked down in front by Garon, and then sent back in deep, and Weaver back to get it. He's checked by Corey Perry. So the Ducks have come from behind to take the lead, and shots in this period. Anaheim with 6. The Kings have yet to get a shot on goal in this period. Here is John Seiler. Down to his knees on the left wing. Picks it up, gives it to Justin Brown. His shot and a glove save. Big Air hangs onto it. And we'll be back right after this.
The Nissan National Sales Race is on. We're in a race to sell 100,000 Nissans in one single event. That means record-breaking deals on high-performing Nissans, like $3,500 cash back or 1.9% financing on the Nissan Titan King Cab. 100,000 Nissans in one event. So, ladies and gentlemen, get to your Nissan dealer now and start your savings.
Visit your Southern California Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Well, touch wood, it's been an injury-free season for Aaron Miller of the Kings. He still goes through about a 45-minute maintenance program every day. Stretching, deep tissue massage where you have muscle releases by the masseur of the Kings to get in there and make sure the muscles are all moving. They have a couple of little apparatus. You have a stick with a ball on the end that you use to go through one vertebrae at a time to loosen and strengthen, those types of things. He said at the beginning of the year it was about a 3-hour a day, but he's kind of cropped it down to 45 minutes extra just to get ready. Again, he had hip surgery in the offseason to get rid of a problem that was causing problems in his back. He has been healthy this season.
Well, the last 3 years he missed 106 games with those injuries that you described. So he's played every game this year for the Kings.
He had the bad back, but Bobby had a growth on his hip. It's a ball and socket joint. That ball point of the joint, it had a growth on it. They had that growth removed, and all of a sudden, his back style starts to feel better. But again, it's very important. You can't just neglect it. You've got to maintain it.
Heron moves it around to Weaver, and he takes a hard hit there, but he gets it up on the left wing side. Here across the line, Kopitar, but he got stopped. Paulson with a hard hit on Weaver.
You know, I think one of the things that's coming through right now, a lot of teams have noticed that this year with the Ducks. They're a physical team, and it's starting to show here a little bit in the third period. The Kings unable to get on track offensively. The Ducks just keep coming at you with young players, big players, fast players, and they take the body.
Kings' seventh sellout of the season here tonight. 18,118 tickets sold. Puck taken by Rob Blake. Now it comes out to center ice. Ducks changing on the fly. 11:45 left to go here in the third period. 2-1 Anaheim. Fired in behind the net. Matthew Garon, who's played very well tonight, cleared it along the board. Held in there by Kunitz, taken away by the Kings, and it is cleared up to center ice. Camilleri. Ahead now and across the line, Frolov. Frolov pass knocked down, and Kunitz cleared it to the blue line, and offside called against the Kings.
And bouncing puck right there for Wisnowski, so he tried to keep it in, but because the puck was bouncing, could not do so. Kings offside. Tip the King 2007 is coming up a week from tomorrow. That would be Sunday, February 25th at the Home Depot Center in Carson. General admission tickets, $75 to purchase. Please visit lakings.com or Staples Center box office.
Face-off outside the blue line of Anaheim, and the Kings get control, and Aaron Miller slaps it hard around the board. Anaheim Ducks take over. Joe DePenta goes back behind the net, then barrels his way into the corner. Second year out of Boston University. Puck slides all the way back in the Kings zone, and Weaver takes a look over his shoulder and then gets it up to Rightus Ivanon. Ivanon's pass to center ice to Kostopoulos, taken away, and the Ducks with it.
Many times in a game, you have to just take what the opposition is giving you. Right now, the Ducks are not giving the Kings anything, and that means keep it simple. Get to the red line just about every time right now. You've got to get that puck deep.
And here is Lundmark across the blue line. Poke checked away. Held in by the Kings, though. One mark. Fires it back behind the net. It caroms around left wing side. Titus Ivanons goes for there. And the Ducks, Ryan Getzlaf comes out with it to center ice, taken away by Armstrong.
Penalty coming up here against, it looks like the Kings had the puck or touched the puck. It was well in behind. Hooking's going to be the call, so the Ducks broke up a play for the Kings in the offensive zone going the other way. Tom Kostopoulos is looking around, shaking his head. And right now you see Titus Ivanons going right to the locker room. Does not look good right there. His arm extended out in front of his body. Chris Kingsley, the Kings trainer, was there. And either there's a problem with the wrist, the hand, or maybe a cut. I don't want to speculate. I guess I am speculating. There's the penalty right there. The stick a little bit high. It was parallel, and Getzlaf fights through it. But in doing so, Kostopoulos picks up the hook. Kostopoulos to the box, Ivanons to the dressing room. The Kings already without Matty Nordstrom, a little short-handed right now.
And the Ducks on the power play. They are 1 out of 3 tonight with 3 shots. Solani has the power play goal, and he has the puck. Here's Solani down the right wing. Kings on. Fires it hard around the boards over to Andy McDonald. Tipped away from him up the middle to Pronger. Now Scott Niedermayer. Niedermayer plays it off the boards to Pronger at the blue line. Now Andy McDonald feeds it on the right side to Scott Niedermayer. Cross to Solani and shot wide. Niedermayer with it again. To McDonald. Here's McDonald back across to Solani up the middle. Pronger. McDonald. McDonald still with it. Gives it in to Scott Niedermayer. His shot from a sharp angle or a pass in front. They had a man right in front of the net, but it came wide. And out to center, they had Kunitz stationed right in front of Guerin. Now here's Solani. Can't go in any further. Taken away by Kopitar and cleared out to center ice.
The discipline has been there the first part of this penalty kill for the Kings. Not running out of position, not overreacting, just staying in the passing lane.
Andy McDonald on the right side. Into the circle. Feeds it down into Solani. Back to McDonald, over to Solani. Tipped away and then cleared. Weaver got his stick on.
And that was Mike Weaver, like I mentioned, just making sure you don't get locked up with the guy in front and you're free to move back and forth, free to break up the pass.
35 seconds left to go on the power play for Anaheim. They have a 2-1 lead. We're down to 9 minutes to go in regulation. Puck fired around the left point, held in. Here is a shot that's deflected and picked up by the Kings. Shane O'Brien got the shot. The Kings get it out to center ice. And Frolov going for it. 15 seconds left to go in the power play. And here's Getzlaf for the Ducks. Drops it back to Corey Perry. Back to Getzlaf, but out of his reach. Picked up on the left side by Dustin Penner. Penner gives it to Getzlaf. Up the middle now to Beauchemin. Beauchemin to the blue line. Back over to Getzlaf. The power play is over. A shot wide to the left side. Kings back at full strength. Kostopoulos out of the penalty box. Puck taken by Corey Perry. Gives it to Dustin Penner. Penner to Perry, and he returned pass taken away by Weaver to Frolov. Frolov didn't get it, and the Ducks, Dustin Penner holds it in, but his pass taken away by Weaver. Up ahead to center ice. Kings get it over to Kostopoulos.
Any kind of counterattack now important for the Kings, Bob, because it's been a long time since the Kings have had a chance, a quality chance to get a goal on the Ducks, especially here in the third period. And now the Kings may be as simple as just getting the puck in every time, but just trying to swarm because nothing happened offensively here in the third.
Kings have had only one shot in this third period. Puck slides to the blue line, held in again by Paulson for Anaheim. Puck comes around to the right wing side, and here's Kostopoulos for the Kings. He gets it to Vishnowsky. Vishnowsky shovels it ahead. Here's Camilleri, left side. Camilleri got stopped there. The puck is chipped off the glass to the blue line and out to center ice.
There's an example there where not much is working offensively. Get over the line, get the puck to the net. Even if it's going to be a redirection, even if Jaguar gets a chance to hold on, you may have an end zone face-off, a chance to set something up. But get that puck deep and get it on net.
Zeiler battling in the corner for the Kings along with Armstrong. Armstrong digs it out. He's checked by Sean O'Donnell. Armstrong still with it. Armstrong lost it there to Paulson. Paulson comes back to center ice looking for some help. Comes across the line and offside. 2-1 Ducks. We'll be right back.
Space Mountain and California Screaming. Now rocking to new music tracks for a limited time. 2 new songs that rock, 2 coasters that roll, and a 2-for ticket.
that lets SoCal residents ride them both. Buy one park ticket, come back to the other park free. 2 days, 2 parks, 2 new reasons to ride. At the place where dreams come true. Only through April 26th.
Hey, want a Bud Light?
Yeah.
Whoa. Rubber floors. Just had them installed. Now we'll never break a Bud Light. Oh, nice. Remote.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Hi.
Too much bounce.
Maybe.
Chuck, you're all blinged out.
Could say the same about you. You're like a whole new element. New grill, new wheels. You get dropped?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
That looks tight.
Cool. That rope is fat.
Don't I know it? Actually, between you and me, it's not real gold. If I wear more than a couple of hours, it turns my neck all green.
Two-1 Anaheim here in the third. Well, certainly a big trade that caused a lot of comment around the league. Peter Forsberg going from Philadelphia to Nashville.
Played his first game tonight. No points, 1 shot, 19 minutes. Second loss in a row for Nashville since the trade. First time Forsberg's been in the lineup. And again, Brian Burke is the GM of Anaheim, talking about what's going on with Anaheim. Says we're kicking some tires right now, but no one has made an offer that works for them. And Brian Burke also said he can see the Ducks doing nothing or actually making a move that has long-term ramifications as opposed to just renting a player for the short term. But a lot of teams recognize a move like that with Forsberg going to Nashville. And many times, as I mentioned earlier, Bob, it just kind of starts the dominoes going. That's when the trades pick up.
And down in deep in the Anaheim zone with 6:38 left to go here in the third period. And it's 2-1 in favor of the Ducks. Puck taken away for the Kings. Brian Wilsey. Wilsey left side. Wilsey hanging on to Vishnowsky is drive wide. Picked up by Blake. Blake put it back behind the net, but the Ducks take over there. And a backhand pass out ahead. Cleared ahead, and now here's Kunitz coming in, and Blake reached out to poke it away. Then threw a hard check at Kunitz. Puck held in by the Ducks, though. They get it out to the left side. Here's Kunitz again to DePenta. His shot saved by Guerin. Rebound Kunitz and a save by Guerin again.
You know, Matthew Guerin makes sure right there the Kings did have 1 chance on the last shift, but again the Ducks 1 chance and out of their zone and come right back at the Kings. The Kings Legends mini jersey series continues this coming Thursday. Every fan at the Vancouver game will get a free commemorative mini jersey of number 99 Wayne Gretzky. For tickets or information, call 1-888-KINGS-LA or visit lakings.com.
Face off again in the Kings zone to the left of Matthew Guerin. And the draw taken by the Kings, and Sopel gets it up ahead to Camilleri, but his pass broken up at center ice by Travis Mullen. He drives it right back in. Sopel to Camilleri. Kings need to get some offense here. Pass up ahead to center ice. Sopel sends it into the Anaheim zone. Here is Jaguar behind the net. Passed off into the corner. Roloff into forecheck for the Kings. Kings still with only 1 shot in this third period, and we're down to 5.5 minutes left to go.
Poise and stick-to-itiveness of the Ducks. They just played the same game here in the third period. Came in and said, we're just going to continue going straight line, making the simple plays, and they've done that all period long.
Now given away. Here's Vishnowsky. Makes a move. Pass in front. Oh, by Kopitar! What a shot off the pass by Andrzej Kopitar, and he ties the game at 2-2.
And it comes on the first turnover, perhaps here in the period, by the Ducks. The Ducks did have control, but then were forced, kept in, a couple of fake moves, and all of a sudden the slide pass across the ice. Kopitar a la Michael Camilleri. There's Vishnowsky keeping it in. Fake shot, go around. You have Frolov in front, Camilleri in front, and then Kopitar, as Bob mentioned, had to go down to one knee to time it. The one-timer has to be timed perfectly. And you see the pass goes through, and Kopitar, the puck a little bit in front of him, but he goes down to the knee, so a turnover hurts the Ducks. Kings tie it up 2-2.
Only the second shot of the period by the Kings, and it counted to tie it up. Wisnowski made a nice pass across to Kopitar. Now here's Andy McDonald. He comes down the left wing, eluded a check there for a moment, but Kopitar back to take it away. Gives it to Wisnowski. Kopitar is 17th of the year. Wisnowski with the assist. 14-46. Kings have it again. Kopitar in, a shot just wide by O'Sullivan.
Kopitar picked that puck out of the air on the forecheck. It looked like the Ducks were going to get out again, but no. Kopitar knocked it out of the air, kept it down, controlled the puck, and then put it on the stick of O'Sullivan.
4:28 to go in regulation. Back to center ice. Wilsey got knocked down by Sammy Paulson. Puck taken now by Rob Niedermeyer. King zone to the blue line. To Pronger. Shoots. Blocked and wide to the left side where Weaver gets it to Zeiler. John Zeiler to center. He gets knocked down and the Ducks have it. And it's cleared back up to center to Sammy Paulson. Paulson feeds it over right side. Here is a shot knocked down and Paulson spinning, tried to get a shot. Couldn't do it. Kings don't clear it though. Puck came out to the blue line and held in. Here's Aaron Miller. Miller took a check, but he got it over to Wisnowski. He let it go to Wilsey. Wilsey gets it up ahead to center ice. Fired in by Jamie Lundmark. 3:40 to go in regulation. Kings have tied it on Kopitar's 17th of the year and 4th in the last 4 games. Now a loose puck at center ice. Taken there and fired by Getzlaff back behind the King net. Guerin stops it to Wisnowski. Now up to Camilleri at the blue line. Right wing pass off the board. Sopel chasing it in. Sopel down in deep. Sopel checked there by Beauchemin. Sopel gets it back again. Tried to give it to Frolov. He didn't get it. Ducks take it away, and they'll bring it out to center. Here's Dustin Penner. Leaned down by Armstrong, and the puck taken by Sopel in the King zone. He gets it to Aaron Miller. Back to Sopel with 2:58 to go in regulation. Here's Andrzej Kopitar. With the crowd roaring. Sends it down the left side. Kopitar chasing it in behind the net. Tipped into the corner now and taken by Solani. Up ahead to Andy McDonald. McDonald across the line. Fanned on one pass. Now it's tipped to the blue line, but not out yet. McDonald over on the right side. Here's Kunitz to McDonald, and a save by Guerin. And the puck taken by Kopitar. A big save by Guerin again at point blank.
Guerin goes down to his knees as a butterfly goaltender, but kept the upper body upright to make sure there was no room up top. Kopitar on the back check gets back and poised, gets the rebound, spins, controls, doesn't overreact, clears it out of danger.
Now up to center ice. Anaheim Ducks. Sammy Paulson sends it in deep, checked by Wisnowski. Wisnowski's pass. Kings get it back up to Wilsey at center ice. 1:55 to go in regulation. Wilsey drives it in. Jaguar fires it along the boards, taken away in the corner. Wilsey in to help out. He took it away from Scott Niedermeyer. Here's Wilsey turning, shooting, and it's knocked away by Jaguar. Picked up by the Kings again. Now into the corner. Kings still have it. Good battle there by the Kings Lundmark, and now it is taken away though, and the Ducks get it to the blue line and up to center ice. Rob Niedermeyer had to go off his skate. 1:26 to go in regulation. 2-2 the score. Frolov and Kopitar for the Kings. Solani and Kunitz for Anaheim. Here across the line, Frolov shoots up high and off the glass. Rebound left side to Armstrong. Camilleri over to help out. Camilleri has it in the slot. Backhander blocked on the way in and taken now by Dustin Penner. Penner to center to Getzlaff. Right side it goes to Corey Perry. Perry shot it deflected up on a play with 59 and 6/10 seconds to go.
Looks like the Kings believe they can win this one again. Sean O'Donnell comes out around and you get a stop right here. Looks like O'Donnell has it. He tries to move it up to an area where no Ducks are involved, but Wisnowski will stand in place. So a clear-cut turnover right there. From that point on, it's very important. You get a stop right here. You have one man, two men going to the front of the net. That will allow Kopitar to come in from behind. And because you have those guys, look at Kopitar, stick in the air. He wants it, and he leads into the one-timer, ties it up 2-2.
Here's Solani on the draw. Comes to Pronger. His shot knocked down by Blake, and Blake clears to center. 52 seconds left to go in regulation. Game tied, 2-2. Pass ahead to McDonald, and knocked down here, and an offside called, so a face-off back near the blue line, just inside the blue line of the Ducks.
Talked with Mark Crawford at practice yesterday, and he talked about the last road trip and the last game against Carolina. He felt the Kings didn't have energy, didn't go their way. Well, tonight's game, the Kings had the energy. Both teams did early. Mark Crawford said the team is looking to find a way to learn how to take that next step. Get to be able to win a game like this where at times the Kings were dominated by the Ducks, especially early here in the third. The Ducks had the lead here in the third. It's one of those games where the Kings would not necessarily play their best game. At the same time, you're looking to get 2 points. That would be taking the next step.
Here's Sammy Paulson for the Ducks. He comes across the line. He gets it to Travis Moen. Moen in deep. Rob Niedermeyer's in front of the net. Moen gets knocked down. Penalty to Kopitar going to be called.
Now Kopitar reached around. And then Kopitar tried to reach back like, okay, I was guilty, I'm not guilty. Moen may have just lost an edge on the play, so it's going to be a power play for the Ducks. You'll see Kopitar come in. You see right there at that point. Oh, it's one of those, it's a tough one. It looked like he was wrapping him up. It looked like Kopitar would be wrapping him up with both arms. Now again, keep an eye on the free arm. It's the top hand. Right in there, yeah, he had his arm in front, but again, Moen almost lost his edge at the same time, so it's one of those tough ones. 24.2, so it's a 5-on-4 power play here. If the game goes into overtime, it would be a 4-on-3 power play for the Ducks.
And on the face-off, it comes out to Scott Niedermeyer. He gives it to Pronger. Pronger feeds it on the left side. 18 seconds left to go. Pronger feeds it left side again. A shot deflected up high, picked up by Solani. In front, the Penner, and a save by Garon. And then Solani skating toward the front of the net, I think was off balance, and he went down, but the Ducks are upset that Solani got knocked down to the ice.
I think it was Rob Blake involved for the Kings, if I'm not mistaken. Solani just getting back to his feet right now. Garon held on for the face-off, so the Ducks looking to end it in regulation. 10 seconds remaining on the clock. Shot comes in, fired wide, and Solani will try to get it to Penner. There's the run by Rob Blake. And then Solani tries to get back to the front, and Blake, oh no, Blake took him down. So again, Blake getting the stick up.
He was off balance all right, and with a little help from Blake.
Yeah, the elbow, the forearm, and Solani's talking. Look at this, John, right here. And I think Blake's saying, you want to go to the front, you're going to have to pay. And Solani say, I've already made you pay once tonight with a power play goal. So that's the way the game started. And I guess it's fitting that that's the way the game will end, with both teams jawing at each other. Again, the initial penalty that gives the Ducks the power play here. Moen in behind the net. We have another angle. Keep an eye on the leg of Moen right in here. He'll actually end up kind of tripping himself up. The arms were wrapped around by Kopitar, so it's one of those that could have gone either way. It went the Ducks' way, and we're going to overtime right now. Tied 2-2. Let's go to OT.
Now Getzlav had a shot right there at the buzzer that was knocked away, so sudden death overtime coming up from Staples right after this.
Burger, fries, and a Coke. Don't bother me. I'm eating the Double Western Bacon Cheeseburger at Carl's Jr.
The Pac-10 basketball tournament returns in March. All 10 teams get caught in the madness. The Pacific Life Men's Tourney returns to Staples. And the State Farm Women's Tourney tips off at HP Pavilion in San Jose. Witness the March to the Madness live. For more information, log on to pac10.org or call Ticketmaster.
We're back live at Staples Center in Los Angeles, where Andrei Kopitar tied it up for the Kings, and we're headed into overtime, tied 2-2.
Again, a game where the Kings can learn. It's going to be difficult here in the OT. Dustin Brown will start up front for the Kings. He's been getting a lot more ice time lately on the penalty kills, and you'll see ice time here to start. Again, 4-on-3. That makes it a whole different situation. Many times the team with 4 men, the team on the power play, just looks for one-timers. You try to set it up so you make sure you have guys on their off wings. McDonald, Solani, Getzlav, The forwards will start with Chris Pronger. For the Kings, Dustin Brown, then the veteran defenseman Aaron Miller, and that man Rob Blake.
So it's a 4-on-3 power play for 1:35 for the Ducks here in overtime. Game tied at 2. Here's Solani. Solani to the blue line, comes across the line, gets it back from McDonald. Solani with it, gives it to Getzlaf. Getzlaf to Pronger. Pronger to McDonald. McDonald waits, feeds it up the middle, and there is fanning on it was Getzlaf, and it's tipped out to center ice. And Wilsey tried to get to it. He went down. Here's Andy McDonald. McDonald on the right side over to Solani. One-timer, didn't get all of it, but Garon did, and he hangs on.
The Ducks try to set play where they sent Chris Pronger right down the middle slot, trying to draw attention, and had Getzlaf come in behind him. It didn't end up working because Getzlaf ended up fumbling up with a puck, and Dustin Brown. You'll see the Ducks on the play trying to attack. And the stop-ups all night long by Andy McDonald. Here's the last chance. You can see Blake got a piece of it and just kind of fluttered into Matthew Garon.
Face off to the right of Garon, and the Ducks get to it. Here is Solani giving it to Chris Pronger. Pronger feeding it over the left side to Getzlaf to Solani. Hard pass. He played it off the board. Solani back behind the net. Over to Getzlaf. Now Pronger. Pronger hanging on, feeds it to Andy McDonald. McDonald to Getzlaf, to Pronger, to Getzlaf, one-timer, save made, and the puck comes out and held in again by McDonald. Here's a shot, saved by Garon on Getzlaf's bid.
Talk about flexibility and quickness. He had to reach every inch to make that save.
Here's McDonald over to Pronger and shot wide. Solani with it. 20 seconds to go on the power play. To Getzlaf. Getzlaf hangs on, feeds it to Andy McDonald. McDonald over to Solani. Solani with a wraparound, saved by Garon, and the loose puck cleared by the Kings. Rob Blake.
Well, Matthew Garon, you have to have your goaltender be your best penalty killer. That's been the case. The Ducks have gotten the shots, Garon the saves.
Kings are back at full strength, and the puck taken by Kopitar. Kopitar down the left side, tried to pull it in, lost it, got it back, and sent it toward the net, and Jaguar covers it up.
And Kopitar trying to take it back. He's coming out of the box, Bob, and the power play men, McDonald, Solani, they're dead tired out there. So unfortunately, the Kings could not get something going. The save by Garon came across, and he did get a piece of it. Wow, look at the stretch right there. And the Ducks tried the wraparound right after that, post to post, another stretch. Garon doing the job. Again, Matthew did struggle in his last game because he was rusty, missing about a month with a broken finger. He's been on top of his game tonight.
He sure has. He's played a great game tonight. Wow. Both teams are at equal strength. Puck is taken by Scott Niedermeyer to center ice. Feeds it to Paulson. Paulson cutting in. Paulson in front. And his pass went wide to the left side. Now the Kings with it. They may have a 2-on-1. There's a pass up ahead. Kings have a 3-on-1. Kopitar left side. Kopitar shoots. Saved by Jaguar. And he keeps the Kings from winning the game on that save.
Well, the Kings did have the 2-on-1, Bob, from basically their own blue line, and then Vishnowsky jumped in to make it a 3-on-1. If you're the defender back, you're going to take away that pass, and that's what happens with Beauchemin. He finally forces Kopitar into an angle. You'll see 23 backing off. Kopitar head up all the way. Kopitar has a couple options, but elects to shoot. And the goaltender, you can see right there, Jaguar on the same page with his defenseman, just making sure he's ready, square, to make the save.
Camilleri on the face-off of the Kings, and the Ducks. Ryan Getzlaf won the draw. 2:45 to go in overtime. Tied at 2. Here to center ice, Ryan Getzlaf. Getzlaf fanned on his pass, got it again, threw it down in deep. He gets checked by Weaver. Getzlaf still with it. Then a shot from the left side, knocked up in the air off the arm of Garon. Shot by Kunitz. Puck taken by Getzlaf again. Now he tried to fire a shot from there or a pass, but it was knocked away by Garon and taken by Weaver. Weaver's pass taken away by Kunitz. Kunitz shoots, it's deflected wide. Weaver again for the Kings. 2:12 to go in overtime. Camilleri slows things down, goes back behind the net.
Puck possession time, Camilleri allowing the Kings to change their defensemen because Blake and Weaver retired. Now you have 4 fresh bodies on the ice.
Here's Vishnowsky down the left side. Throws it down in deep, and Jaguar poked it back along the boards. Ducks get it up to Solani on the right wing. Teemu Solani, Ducks leading scorer, trying to go in deep, swept away by Vishnowsky. Here's Lubomir Vishnowsky now with 1:43 to go in the overtime, and his pass taken away by Solani. Solani tried to get a return pass, taken away by the Kings. Armstrong gave it to Kopitar. Kopitar shoots, and it's deflected up high and out of play.
Well, Anze Kopitar, Bob, has had a strong game again tonight. It's a great sign. We've seen it all year long, different things, but tonight was a rough game to start.
Yeah.
So sometimes think, is a young guy going to be intimidated? Not the case with Kopitar. Many plays he made, fighting along the boards, grinding through to get open or get time. Then he ends up getting the tying goal. So you just have a 19-year-old player continuing to grow no matter what type of game or what style of game. It doesn't matter. Kopitar seems to come to the top.
Now Armstrong ready on this face-off in the Duck zone against Paulson. And the Ducks control it. Minute 25 to go in overtime. Game tied at 2. Here at center ice now, and across the line is Rob Niedermeyer. He kicks it in toward the net. Taken away by the Kings. Blake gives it back to Anze Kopitar. Kopitar in the King zone, gives it back to Blake. Blake over now to Aaron Miller. Aaron Miller back in the King zone. 1 minute to go in overtime. Pass to Blake. Blake gives it to Kopitar. Kopitar across the blue line. Kopitar left side. Shot is wide. And the rebound to Paulson. 48 seconds to go in overtime. Paulson sends it in deep. The Ducks want to get a line change. Back behind the net. Guerin stops it there. Now pass by Sobel up the center ice. On the left wing side. Taken by Brown. Cutting in. His pass in front. Wide to the right side. Kings hold it in and the shot is wide. 27 seconds to go. Wisnowski holds it in. Wisnowski left wing boards. Now it comes up to the blue line. Knocked down by Sokol. He shoots. Saved by Jaguar. And he covers up. And we have seen some outstanding goaltending at both ends by Guerin for the Kings and Jaguar for the Ducks.
Lundmark of the Kings made things happen here, and you'll see Jamie Lundmark try to get to the front of the net. Pronger boxes out. Great job by a defenseman there, allowing the goaltender to see it. It almost crawled up the leg and arm. There's Sopel keeping it in. And the one thing, get it to the front. Again, Pronger did the exact thing you should do as a defenseman. You just make sure you have body position. That was the case. Jaguar sees it all the way.
Camilleri ready on this face-off. Against Solani. And the draw won by Solani, but the Kings have it. Here's Fola off to the right side to Blake. Blake shoots and a save. Jaguar hangs on again.
I'm sure Froloff would have liked to shot that puck himself, but he couldn't get his body into a position where he could get enough on it, enough leverage. And then he gets it back to Blake. Once again, though, you'll end up seeing a situation. Get a stop here, guys. The shot's going to come in, and Jaguar's able to see it all the way because the boxing out is there. Hold on for the faceoff.
Kings have 6 shots in the overtime. The Ducks have 5. And a face-off again with 10.9 seconds to go. Kings almost had it right in the slot, and it rolled wide to Froloff. Froloff gives it to Wisnowski. His shot knocked away. 3 seconds to go. We may be going to a shootout, and we are going to a shootout here at Staples tonight. Well, what more could you want? You get a great start to the game. The Kings tie it up in the third. Now we go to the shootout. We'll be right back.
There's 7 passengers. Then there's 7 passengers, 1 picnic basket, 2 boogie boards, 3 beach chairs, and Kirby the Crab. The all-new Mazda CX-9 crossover SUV with more cargo space than Toyota Highlander and Honda Pilot. There's 7 passengers their way. Then there's 7 passengers the Zoom Zoom way. Get a 2007 Mazda CX-9 front-wheel drive Sport with this special introductory $349 a month lease for 39 months with $34.44 due at lease signing.
Well, again, Mark Crawford looking for his team to take some strides, take steps. They didn't play a great game tonight, but they certainly hung in there. Both teams played a physical game, and the Kings did not take a back seat to the Ducks in that area. Again, the third period early was controlled by Anaheim. But it's one of those games where, again, when you don't play your best and you still end up getting a point or perhaps 2 in a shootout, that's a kind of a growing, maturing type of process. And Mark Crawford went to young players near the end there. A little discussion along with the referee trying to figure out things here going into the shootout.
I'd like to have a mic on that right now because Crow was kind of smiling and talking and laughing with the...
I think he was asking the ref who he should use in the shootout. You know, who do you think is going to be okay? Well, I know Kopitar is going to be one of them. You know Froloff's going to be one of them. Getzlaf won a shootout game here the last time I believe the Kings and the Ducks played with a nice change of pace move. So You can see the records in the shootouts, and it's all about figuring out who's hot. Again, the home team does have the chance. And Mark continues that conversation. I'm going to take a look back on tonight's goals. Way back early, the Kings in the offensive zone. You get the shot, power play, full off, spin, screen, and deflect all in one motion. The Ducks to get on the board, though. Solani was taken down earlier on the shift on the elbow by Dustin Brown. He gets back, patience. Then the Ducks keep it going. One try here, second, third, fourth with Kunitz. Finally makes it underneath the pad. Then the Kings will tie it up. Vishnowski picks up a turnover from Sean O'Donnell and Andrzej Kopitar. The one-time shot, and that's where we stand, 2-2. The Ducks did have a power play 4-on-3 into overtime, could not score. Now we go to the shootout.
Getzlaf, Solani, and McDonald will shoot for Anaheim. Kopitar, Camilleri, and Kostopoulos for the Kings is the word we get.
That would be very interesting. That might be one of those things where you pick up in practice, or it might be one of those things where a coach just goes on a hunch. But that was the announcement. And of course, the first guy expected Andrzej Kopitar.
And here comes Andrzej Kopitar. He's got one goal in the game tonight. Kopitar against Shiger. Shot it wide, maybe off the arm there, or the blocker of the goaltender.
When the shootout first came in, Shiger really struggled in these situations, did not like it. You'll see Kopitar many times goes for that deke move where he just ends up sliding the puck between the pads. This time, he holds on. Shiger did establish position. Shiger did get a piece of that one. And Ryan Getzlaf gets the chance for the Ducks. Great size, great reach, and again, we saw last time here a change of pace where he was going fast, slowed down to make a move.
Here is Getzlaf for the Ducks' first shot. And he started up high, faked the shot, went to the backhand.
You're just trying to get the goaltender to flinch. You're trying to get the goaltender